I'm going to get some Subway. I don't know. We'll see.
Joe.
We'll see what everyone else grabs for lunch. But
Joe wants to do that.
lunchtime,
Joe wants to do that whole,
do?
like, he wants us to go over so that he can owe us some time, and then he can magically say at his time, "Oh, you guys still owe us a minute." But
no, we can stretch.
Nah, you did a good.
Or we could tax you, and we could do like every minute we do, you owe us too, something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
You want to start tariffing this stream now, Joe?
No.
Is that how you want to play Scott over there, Scotty B? Joey B. Was Joey B a new kid on the block or something like that? Joey B.
To be honest, I actually don't know the new
Joey
kids on the
Bitcoin
block.
over there?
I remember what's his face's brother.
There was Jordan. Jordan was a new kid. Was Lance
what
Bass?
the heck
was Ensign?
Wasn't one of them Donnie?
Donnie, yes. Wahlberg.
That's it. Yeah, Thing's
That's who
brother.
you're
Donnie
getting.
Wahlberg. That's who I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
my
don't know
wife went to a New Kids concert at one point.
My neighbor is a huge.
Joey Burrow. Yeah,
to get us
Joey
to
B.
go.
That's where I know Joey Burrow.
Who
from.
is Joey B?
Joey Burrow. That's obvious.
Oh.
I should have known that. So shout out to
okay,
that right now.
doesn't matter.
All right, $4 and change in the money, $1.50 and change. We're leaving you in good hands. All right, good trading today, good talk. I hope all of you enjoyed it. Thank you for that, man. 2.3K, that's a nice little number there. But hit the likes for your boys because Sharif's about to go do something he came up with. It's roll call time. All right, see you guys then. See ya.
See you too.
Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That right there is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And I didn't invent the roll call, but I happen to think that I do it okay.
There we go.
I do it okay. I do it okay. Get it, Catino. Oh, he's got the roll call animation, showing who the true OG roll caller is. He's got the animation. Oh my God.
Days.
Get it, Katina, man. I appreciate the energy, buddy. CompuCare team, Derek Thompson, Dumbo, Things and Film. Shout out to Alfredo Perez and Dinkelberg. He's just living, guys. Shout out to Freddy 5000 and the OG, Zion, Lala. We got Juan Padilla and Chef Jill. How about Mary, Knuckle Up, Cristobal, Ronaldo, Yannick, SBF, Gorov, Molfar. Oh my goodness, they're all the OGs. Everyone joining us today. Atif, we got Blue Arrow, we got Ethos, we got Esvin, we got James Liang, Tricky Mickey, Edward, Pizza Rat, one of your boys there, Richard, Niaza, Gary, Jornsen, we got Andrew Zarate, Happy Zombie, that's interesting there, Mr. Thumbs Up, Nephew, the capital P, how about Kirk D, shout out to Henry S, and Sweeping LNH, Ninomax, we got Ken, he's a beginner trader as evidenced by his name, Boss City Finest, Learning with Care, Sage Might, Dane Gill, a proper dang paradox. We got, who else, man? Jesse Ramirez.
Our guy, ADL.
ADL, Adam DeLuce, baby. Thank God Arsenal secured second yesterday. Daddy D. We got, who else, man? What was this? Something bands there. I like when I see the word bands there.
Chase
Joseph.
Bands.
Yeah, Chase Bands Learning. We got Scott J, MC, Hold My Beer. One more, man. Ray 2885, and I lied. We got DS. Shout out to DS joining Joseph and I on the Midday Show. Good morning, Joseph. How are you?
Good morning and happy Monday to everyone. Yes, it is a Canadian holiday here, but we're here trading these markets, guys, having a fantastic time. Pizza Rat, I see you in the chat. You're crushing Bitcoin. Let's go up to 104,000 now, 104,400 to be exact there, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's been an all right morning. We're not going to complain. We're going 3 for 3 on the day. If we can pull up my screen here momentarily, this is the trade on QBTS. We're going to hop into kind of just more of the dynamics and why I decided to add more aggressively in this position. And then we're going to go through the other two names that I took as well. But first, let's see what Adara's up to.
Get it, Adara.
I may have another small cap for you. It goes by the name of Quantum Corporation, QMCO. Now, this is actually not a quantum company. I looked into them, and they describe themselves as data storage, management, and protection. So, does not sound to actually be a quantum name. However, they have a cool 30% plus short float, so massive short float here. Only about a 6.5 million share float. QMCO, today's highs, no news. Keep an eye on QMCO. Sharif, if you need a name to add to your small cap roster. Back to you.
That is a great call out, Adara. This thing is going, man. man. This thing is quite aggressive. I'm not going to interrupt you because I still haven't even looked at it yet.
Do what you got to do. It's breaking out. I want to see a little bit more about this myself.
Okay, so here's let's talk about it. We got to put it up on the 5 right away, Joseph, because that's how we chart. We execute. Well, we used to execute on the one that's no longer accurate. So QMCO, let's load this up. We're going to look at this quick as you like. Good breakout. Okay, so it is getting, as I've mentioned before, extended away from the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. That means that I use as an informal gauge of overbought and oversold conditions. So the 10 EMA on the 5 is at 12 1/3. This thing's printing at 13 1/3, so $1 extended away. Do you have any support levels? Well, you got the 10 EMA, and then below that, you're looking basically at $12, just a little bit higher than $12. That's where the volume weighted average price is. What I would be doing here, okay, this is too expensive and too spready. I'm trying to narrow my trades down to smaller or to lesser expensive names. But what I would be doing is I'd be punching long here at the high, and I'd be putting my stop below current candle low. If you really want to get more aggressive, hold for a 13 area low. Ideally, what I'd like to do is place my stop below prior bar low. But as you can see, this bar has $1 worth of range, 12.45, 12.47 at the high, and essentially 13.47 at the high, 12.47 at the low. So if you want to do that, you can do it, but you're going to have to risk $1. Right? What I would be looking to do is look to current bar low or just below 13 if you really want to get aggressive. 13 1/3, Joseph. It's knocking in the door at 13 1/2. What an explosive move up.
What an explosive move up. Talking about explosive moves up, man. Bitcoin is absolutely flying here on the day, guys. I'm not lying to you, my guy. It's almost at 105, brother. I'm not lying, man. It's ripping, my guy. And I didn't even trade it today. Okay. We traded the quantum space, and I'll go through my notes and everything. But let's break down this trade here. Here on QBTS. Sorry, guys. I missed the meat of the move, but it is what it is. We got aggressive here. You can see I first started off my position, 100% add, and then an additional 50% add, and we got that move passed through these pre-market highs, and I was like, okay, let's go. But this pullback was just too deep for me to hold on to. I did get stopped out about 30% of my remaining position on this, but then it just went on an absolute monster run. Should have kept my eye on it, but it's a little tougher to read for me because of the price of it. I was waiting for some indecision if there was going to be any around under the volume weighted average price. I just didn't see that entry signal once again. I mean, there is a higher low right here, which is positive, but then there was no indecision what I was looking for. But yeah, it was a really nice trade here for your boy on QBTS. And why was I taking it? Let's take a look from a daily standpoint here, guys. We were just cracking through some of these highs, 1194, and that's what my notes were referring to. So we broke through some key resistance zones, and then we got that big move to the top side that we were looking for. So really nice look on QBTS. And then I also traded QUBT. So it's gonna be a tongue twister here on the day going through these ones. But here, a nice breakout here on QUBT, guys. I added. So you can see I was playing this breakout of some key resistance zones. We take some off. I add for the continuation of the breakout, and we just never got it. So I just was free rolling as I typically do, just using unrealized gains to add more shares to my position, and then that's where I got stopped out break even. So that was a nice trade, still positive on QUBT. And then we were trading the Tesla breakout as well too, guys. So this is where we go 3 for 3 on the day. You can see Tesla was breaking out. We had to be patient, and I say that from time and time again. It's the name of the game, and I was happy to be so this morning. And this is exactly where we got that breakout candle, the volume stepping in. So the volume by time profile giving us exactly what we need, and that's what we got when we played that breakout here on Tesla. And then I was looking for the continuation, a nice indecision print right here, guys, looking for that break of the high day, but Tesla said no. So that's okay. We just take a little bit of a gain right there on this addition, and then it came back into the volume weighted average price and just hovering right above it. So those were the 3 trades on the day, guys. Let's go. We're going to continue to put on some trades if they do display themselves, but most definitely going to be patient. I love what IBIT's doing. We're absolutely just soaring, and this is what I want to see, Sharif.
All right, man. Let's talk about the trade that I had on to start. This is a really good look right now on PTIX, guys. It's a triple-digit winner. It's an absolute monster at the moment. Look at it take out the highs, man. Here we go. So PTIX, I entered this one on a 10 EMA retracement. I got long 9.5. It just took out 11.5. We held it for almost $1, just south of $1, so it's not warranted to hit that dollar club, sadly. But we took it nicely there for a few outs, but it's continuing to go. It's got one of my favorite area highs, Joseph. I couldn't have wrote this script better myself. $11.69 high on the day on your friend Joseph there, PTIX. It's up 276%. Put some dang respect on this one's name. Higher highs and higher lows, Joseph. This one is on one. It's on that good stuff that we're not allowed on this side of the border, but keeps going there. Keep your eye on the higher lows. That shows you the buyers are in control. It's up 272%, and here's the details on it. If you guys are ready. $6 2/3 million market cap with a float of 3.4 million shares, just a little bit more. Let's double check that with your friend Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas saying something substantially different than what I'm seeing over here. It's saying 440,000 shares with a 3.32% short float. Okay, so fundamentally different looks there between what I've got on my platform and what Trade Ideas is telling me. Usually the truth somewhere in between. In any event, it's continuing to go. Here are the levels on it. The 10 EMA is at $10. So this one looks possibly destined to come back into that $10 area. I'm a buyer there, okay? PTIX, I see you, Tisha. I see you. $10. And I like this area rejection. It gets into that 10-ish area, 975 technically, rejects, tanks all the way down to 6.5, and then it goes through that $10 like it didn't even matter. Like we didn't even reject at that area. So PTIX, I'm a buyer in and around $10. I will dollar cost average into that 9.5. What does that mean? That means my entry position at $10 has to account for my planned dollar cost average. So I can't go big boy size right from the get-go like that. Now it might not even give me 10, bro. This thing's taking out the high again. So this one's on that good right now, as we talked about. And it's continuing to go. We got another one that's on that good right now, Joseph.
Oh, which one?
And it goes by QMCO. We're going to shout at Dara for giving us this one, man. So we're long at the $0.33. Get it, Adara. I see you. So we're looking here, Joseph, at $0.33. Just took it out at $0.02. Let's set up now at the whole dollar or just south. You know my affinity for that number 88, so we're going to throw it there, $13.88, and I won't consider it any different. So keeping my eye on this one. And I'm out below 13. Simple as that. As I mentioned previously, there is just such a great chasm of space between where this one is trading at the moment and the lower support level. I already gave you guys where the 10 EMA is, and it's at 1255. We're at 1362. Below that, we're looking at the volume weighted average price of 12 1/3. So this one's on a squeeze. We can't be looking for support levels at the moment. It's putting in higher highs and higher lows. It's all gas, no brakes. Let's find out if this one can print me at 88. It's squeezing up, but it's got a seller here at 60. Okay. Can we shake them? Can we shake them? No, we can't shake them right now, Joseph. Doesn't mean we can't shake them eventually. So keeping my eye on that. Last but not least, this trade, I will get stopped out if this breaks one more penny lower. I'm long at 87s. I've given this to 76s. I'm talking about TNGX. If it doesn't hold this level, I'm gone.
He's gonzo. He's out of that. He's gonzino out of that one. Out of dodge, as we like to say. Just get out of dodge on that one.
Here we go.
But here we go. Yeah, I mean, we're in some QUBT again, Sharif. We got some multiple indecision prints right below the volume weighted average price. So I'm looking for the continuation, getting a big fist pump from my guy. So let's go. Yeah, this is what we're long off of. We played the break of the high of this candle. Let's see if we can get this trend to continue. I mean, as we broke out, we see the volume really start to step in. That's a positive sign here. I mean, I've traded this name for the past couple of days here now, and I'm starting to really recognize that the quantum space is choppy, and I think a lot has to do with the price of the stock as well, too, guys. So, yeah, we're back into this. I'm going to hold on to it, even though I did take some off a little bit. I'm still going to hold it until the break of that, right? I won't mind. I took a little bit off, even though I usually don't do that. I would wait until it came to my break even and then just get out of the trade if it did so. But I'm going to give it more time here because I do like these indecision prints. and that we can potentially continue this trend and the breakout in the space. So that's the game plan. We already had some nice trades on, and we tried the continuation up here, didn't get it, but then the pullback was slightly deeper than what we were expecting, so we just hop right back in here, guys. So there we go, a nice pump up here in QUBT. Let's go. This is a good Monday here, guys. I mean, Bitcoin's roaring. Nvidia is right back up to 135, so you know your boy's having a great time. Sharif, oh my days. Okay, it's time, guys. Listen, I know a lot of people are gonna love this here. We're gonna start talking a little bit about the encrypted one here, Sharif, Bitcoin itself. Yeah, this is what we like. This is what we like seeing. Here we go. We're approximately 104. Yeah, roughly around 104.
All I see. Can I just tell you all I see?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm looking at?
This here?
Yeah, but what do I see? What would I be pointing out to you on this little trend there, Joseph?
This right here?
What would I be saying?
All those higher lows there, baby. Let's go.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
There we go.
But this is exactly what you're
see,
for.
Joseph.
Dude, that's why I started grabbing some more, dude. I mean, Sharif, that's why I started grabbing some more as soon as we broke that trend line, right? It's like, okay, yeah, we sit on the backside of this. Maybe you get a pullback and an additional buy opportunity. But this is the move. How long have I been talking about it? Since April now.
Fair.
This is the move where we go and break those all-time highs. We tapped into 107 yesterday. We couldn't hold it, but maybe it was just a liquidity grab so we can continue the move. Bang, we just caught another fill on QUBT. Let's go. I mean, now it's really starting to break out. I referred to those indecision prints. I'm going to take a little bit more off here, guys, just because we are breaking out. Let's see if we can catch this fill. We need it to hit the bid. What am I offering here? 90s. All right, let's see if we can catch that here, Sharif. An additional nice move here in QU. Bang, and there we go. We caught that fill. As you've seen those orders start to hit the ask, and we're continuing to climb. Is this the move where we're going to go and test those highs of days? I told you I already took the breakout trade once. I tried an ad just using my unrealized gains, and then I get stopped out. I didn't even take a loss on this ad using free roll method, acquiring the amount of shares that my unrealized gains allow me to acquire without getting stopped out for a loss. Okay, we take that out, and then we just wait for some indecision prints. This is exactly what I was looking for on QBTS and not QUBT. Was these two, hold on, I'll pull up one more time for them, Sharif, before I send it back to you, my guy.
What the hell's going on with Goldman Sachs? Why is it down 3%?
Is it? Oh, we don't.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah, okay, we'll figure that out here momentarily. But this is what I was looking for here, guys. These indecision prints on QBTS, not on QUBT, but I'll take it any which way it comes. So on that pullback, looking for the indecision and then the continuation of the trend. A big engulfing volume right here, indecision print, and then the continuation. So that's what we had going on, and that's why we're back into QUBT and not into QBTS. Wow, tongue twister stuff. You got my X message, diamond top breakout. Yeah, send it to me. I'll check those out throughout the day for sure, guys.
Thanks,
no question about that. Joey giving me FOMO on what, Cristobal? There's no reason to feel FOMO. I mean, if anybody's feeling FOMO, look at this trade on QBTS. I mean, I obviously had other trades as well too. I hate how this thing is noisy and I always have to switch. But I was looking for the continuation, the break of the pre-market, but this was like my heaviest trade. This is where I'm at the strongest throughout the session, is early in the morning if we get a nice early breakout. So that's why I decided to add shares, and I end up getting stopped out. If anything is FOMO, it's like, wow, we get this massive move on the amount of shares that I eventually allocated throughout this trade. But again, I'm satisfied with what's going on. I executed how I was supposed to, and I can't really complain because Tesla was nice as well too, Sharif. Hold on, before I send it back to you in a second. We'll go over Tesla one more time on the breakout. And as QUBT is continuing to climb, I can't really complain here, guys. So you can see another breakout trade right here on Tesla. Pop, 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 pop. We take some out. Ad didn't work out. I just cut out as we continue to climb. But QUBT, let's go. Because we are still sitting in this one, and we will for that potential test of that high day, Sharif.
You know what it is, too? Like, we're looking at Bitcoin. We're sitting here all amped up. Bitcoin's up 0.5%. It's knocking the door of 107. We've been completely disrespecting Ethereum. Up 2%, knocking that door, that 2450. And what a day for Ethereum to be up 2% when we got the crypto queen at the big day. You didn't think I was going to get you there? Come on now.
Yeah,
Come on now.
There we go.
We can't hear you, but she's like, we caught her off guard.
She
She's
wasn't
sitting at the
expecting
desk.
it.
She doesn't know what's going on. Just wanted to shout out Satea, guys. All right, man. Great day for ETH, though.
Yeah, it is. What is it? ETHA, right?
Yeah, well,
no,
we got it on our
Ethereum.
platform, Joseph. You don't even have to do that.
I'm just saying, if we were going to trade it from an ETHA, not overly liquid, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. 1824 up to an 1859 here. Let's zoom in and zoom out here, Sharif, and see what we got. Wow.
We're coming off.
Yeah,
lows,
I mean,
baby.
wow, that's a big time recovery right there. 67% from that.
See your friend Barron Trump there? See that video circulating around? That Aiden Ross guy, I don't know if it was scripted, calls him like, I need 250,000. Quick loan. Barron's all chill. He's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
how much
scripted.
250,000 is to Barron.
Yeah,
and there's, what do you want? You want ETH?
Or
He's like, just send him ETH. You send him $250,000 ETH like that. Aiden, they're boys, I think, right? Aiden Ross.
Someone told me that Aiden moved to Toronto or something
Did
like
he
that. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it was on cam.
Did
You know he streams, obviously.
Did you know your boys, the Island Boys, fought each other? Yeah, they fought each other this weekend.
Did they actually?
Yeah.
that must have been a scintillating fight. Tell me.
I didn't watch it, dude. I just seen a reel, but yeah, they fought each other.
You're kidding, dude.
One definitely got a little bit of a beating there, but yeah, there you go.
That was fake. Juan Padilla's telling me that's fake. I mean, who knows what's fake, what's real these days, bro? I'm too stupid to know, so I'll just have to take your word for it. All right, guys, here's the deal. PTIX, that one we were yelling about. Thank you, Tisha, for letting me know about that. This one is halted down. It's at the exact level that I like, okay? So once this one opens up, if it doesn't flush to the bowels of hell, we're going to go long on this one. I'm going to wait for a pullback. Let's see what the top is, the theoretical auction price. Let's weasel on over. It's already showing me that it's going to drop another 20 pennies. If you were to believe what the theoretical auction price is always going to be this area, guys. If you're on mobile, you'll be able to zoom in. If you can't, then I'm sorry. $9.70. We halted at $9.95. It's dropping more, 69, 70, this, that, and the other. The whole point is to tell you, currently, we are slated to open lower than where we halted. But this is the technical area of support that I like. It's the 10 EMA. It's the breakout area over here, 975. So I'm a buyer here. All right, let's see when this one is supposed to open up. 11:17:35 is when it halted. What time is it? It's 11:22:19. We got one more. No, it's supposed to be in 10 seconds. So we have 10 seconds. If this is going to be a 5-minute halt, it will open in about 5 or 6 seconds or so. Let's watch and see what this one does. Does it? It is. So it is a 5-minute halt. So let's go long over here. I'm going to give it to where? Am I going to give it anywhere? Yeah, well, let's go ahead. 9:48, and then we're going to go down to 9:35. All right, we're doing it live. We got 79s on here. Boom! To the high side. We're going to take 15s out. Let's see, can we get through 10, Katina Man? Let's see. We're knocking the door at 10, Katina Man. A little bit above 10. I don't know why I'm dragging Katina Man into it. The guy's trying to do his own thing there. Boom! Again, Katina Man. We take that one out live. There you go. So there's the level that we talked about, that $10 level. It's a money level right there. It's the area we couldn't break through. I'm talking about that 5-minute candle right at 9 a.m. So technically it is a pre-market high, but this was doing ample amount of volume in the pre-market. Keep an eye on that. Adair is at the big desk.
Keep an eye on MindMed, MNMD. This one did make a little bit of a move to the upside, giving some of it back or most of it back. But in case you missed it, MNMD going to be in watch here. Marijuana Moment, which we know is the publication if you're looking for any of these psychedelic or cannabis-related names and their moves. Marijuana Moment basically publishing these comments here from Marty Makary. He is the FDA commissioner in the Trump administration. According to Mr. Makary, apparently these psychedelics like psilocybin and ibogaine are going to be a top priority with regards to what the FDA is looking for. So keep an eye here on MNMD as we have these comments coming through from the FDA commissioner. Also, keep an eye on RTX. Apparently, this is going to be a Josh Brown long idea. Josh Brown, of course, of Ritholtz Wealth Management. Lately, we've been seeing these ideas circulate on X ahead of when Josh Brown announces them. So keep an eye on this ticker. Back to you.
DJ 2AM, what's the 5-minute halt? Great question, DJ 2AM. It's this one, PTIX. So when we halt during the regular market hours, I'm talking about 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm not talking about 4 a.m. to 9:29. I'm not talking about 4:01 or 4 till 8 p.m. I'm not talking about those times. I'm talking about regular market hours. If you get a volatility halt, which means you move up more than 10% in a couple or in 5 minutes, I believe, is it 2 minutes or 5 minutes? I can find out on chat. I don't want to put you on the spot there, but the point is, if it moves up more than 10% within an allotted time, it's going to halt due to volatility. And that volatility halt comes in waves, incremental time waves, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, but they're in increments of 5. That's all you need to know about that. And what we look to do is we know when the first 5 minute period of the halt, the volatility halt, is about to elapse, we get ready for the open. Now, it may not open. It might be a 10-minute halt. At that time, we'll get ready at the 10 minutes. So, because you got to be ready when these zones open, because they do all sorts of craziness, right? So that's a look right now. PTIX got in, got out, got in, got out. Several trades on this one. We're going to keep an eye out on this one and look to do it live for you guys. There's also many other ones I want to talk about, Joseph, but I feel like I've been talking a lot. And
That's all right.
Yeah. So anything that you have to throw in there?
Yeah. I mean, we're still sitting in this QUBT trade, Sharif. So, I mean, I'm going back and forth with traders in the chat as well. I know Gorev's in some UNH. Some people were talking about Ethereum there. So, I mean, we're still sitting in this QUBT. The pullbacks are really deep in this same. See, look, we just take a big dive down there. I'm still sitting on about 50% of the position, and I had an offer out here, guys, but I'm not catching that fill. So I'm not going to take too much of a loss on there. Boom. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to lose whatsoever on that trade. So there we go on QUBT. We're all out, but a nice little pop here, guys, on those indecision prints, and that's what I like what I'm seeing. So here we go. UNH just being absolute monsters. So I was doing some TA over the weekend.
Wow.
And I wanted to grab some of this, just some shares to get involved in this oversold bounce. Yeah, and there you go, 307, filling the gap. And this indecision print is 101. And it's my fault, guys, and I apologize for not taking advantage of this. But this is just 101 because I preach the method, and this is exactly what you want to see, getting a nice bounce. And I do believe there's going to be some more continuation with this. I mean, if we zoom out here a little bit, guys, why is it looking like that? It's weird. Okay. Why is it? Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't know why it's looking like this. But I mean, off the 600, not too long ago, still down 50%. I believe there's going to be room to grab this name. Is that precision entry far gone? Absolutely. It was around 270, 275 roughly. But now you filled that gap here, guys, to the downside. Trading higher, I think this is going to be the next level, and we can most definitely run into 381. So shout out Brankles. I know he's been absolutely monstrous on this trade, and I think there's still a lot to go here in UNH, guys. So yeah, totally some news about the banks. All right, let's pull up XLF here.
I'm looking.
You don't see anything?
Man said right after 11, 11:10, 11:05, there was a nosedive on a lot of them.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing this.
That too,
this is XLF here, Sharif. I know you're involved in this name.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, there you go. You see a big tank right there, guys. We're gonna. Adair's got the news for us right there. JPM, massive dive down there, guys. Let's see what Adair's got for us.
It looks like a JPM story. So apparently the company's consumer and banking CEO said at an event that their Q2 investment banking fees are tracking down in the mid-teens percentage range. So basically the company, according to the CEO of one of its sectors or one of its subsets, is saying that Q2 investment banking fees are tracking down. We get that news, and JPM, especially to the downside here, guys. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, I'm just talking to Gorev as well about that. So here you go, JPM continuing to slowly grind higher. I mean, that volatility spike to the downside, if you're looking for the continuation, just be patient. You might get that pullback towards the volume-weighted average price and then look for that move back towards that low a day there, guys. But again, be patient, wait for that pullback, wait for price action to tell you, hey, we're ready to turn around. And if it doesn't display it, then just move on to something else. But what really's got me stuck here, guys, is this name. I'm I'm going to talk about it for a couple more seconds. As we head into these pre-market highs, it's unfortunate we didn't take advantage of it, but I still believe there's going to be another opportunity. QUBT, good trade. QBTS, our trade of the day as it's continuing to hover around those highs. And Tesla doing some damage for us on the board as well, too.
All right, guys, and JP Morgan dropping. So I guess there's an annual investor day for JP Morgan starting today. And at the investor day, they reiterated their 2025, many different metrics, but one of them here reports their net interest income, which we know has been kind of weak for these banks lately. So they talked about macroeconomic uncertainty, which took center stage apparently at the annual Investor Day conference start today. The slides that released ahead of the event, JP Morgan maintained its net interest income forecast for the full year, reaffirming its previous guide, neighborhood of around $94.5 billion. That's insane. That's just the money they're making off NII, not everything else. The bank said it was positioned to deliver strong returns and protect and grow the franchise under a range of circumstances. These are all from the pre-released slides, the PowerPoint slides or whatever they're calling them these days. They reiterate their target of 17% return on tangible common equity through the economic cycle. They talked about looking ahead, what they were going to say. So we'll look at this a little bit later when things calm down, but I will cover this, guys. Suffice it to say, though, that the good times for these banks, if you believe analyst projections, the good times for the banks come in Q3 and Q4 of this year. That's when it's widely been speculated that the Trump administration will start undertaking some of the deregulation in the financial industry that he promised during the election and that he's touted there subsequent to that. So, you know, I'm not telling you when to buy, obviously, never financial advice on the show, but that has been the thinking with some of these analysts with the financial names that the good times still ahead. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Yeah, okay, Adair, go ahead.
Some more context on here too, Sharif. They do, of course, there's this investor day today for JP Morgan. What's interesting too is a lot of the comments that were coming in from that CEO of their consumer banking side, they came in a while ago. They came in around 9:40 a.m. Sharif also mentioned here some not so positive comments coming from their prepared remarks, but also this might not be the end of JPM Catalyst, guys. We have tomorrow their annual shareholder meeting kicking off at 10 a.m. So keep an eye on JPM around 10 a.m. There could be a little bit more context. I'm also seeing comments here from Jamie Dimon about crypto. He's saying that that they're not looking to custody crypto and that, quote, blockchain doesn't matter as much as you think. So Jamie Dimon speaking a bit disparagingly here about blockchain. Sorry for that slip up there, and back to you guys.
I'm sorry, Adara, but I got a chuckle out of that. Come on, come on. All right, everyone knows I call Jamie Dimon. I call him Jeremy. Sometimes by design, sometimes because I'm an idiot, but is
that how it started? Is that how it started? It's like
I screwed up.
Jeremy?
And then we kind of just went with it after that, right? I was actually at the big discovery for Brendo, and
Jeremy.
It became Jeremy.
Derek Oki State, Blake, any thoughts on Hood from an intraday standpoint? I haven't looked at it today, but from a long-term standpoint, we like Robin Hood. I mean, let's go Bitcoin, guys. Having some fun. I love the energy Shreve's bringing this morning and everybody else. And I'm just here just like Leafs kind of lost, but yeah, you know what it is. But hey, I'll tell you guys a little something before we talk some TA. So I was playing hockey yesterday morning and I texted my boys. I'll even display the text. It was like 10:30 in the morning. I'm like, if I score 2 goals this morning, the Leafs are going to win. I scored 2 goals. The Leafs did not win, and I was feeling so good about myself, and I don't ever put on any form of sports bets, but I decided to go bet $50 via pro line on money line on the Leafs. So thanks for that one, boys. There's always a first time for something, Sharif, and there's most definitely a last, and that is going to be the last time I ever put $1 on the Toronto Maple Leafs. But yo, Bitcoin is continuing to climb here. This is exactly what we want to see. 59.60 and change, guys, on the 2-minute time frame here, putting in a new high a day. What's that going to put spot at? We have to be around those 105 areas. Okay, 104. Okay, we're almost into 105. I don't know if this is a genuine move or anything along those lines, but yeah, we're just knocking on the door, a couple $100 away. Market's continuing to climb. Nvidia forming a bull flag, and what an absolute consolidation we got going on here in the SPY, guys. I mean, if we decide to hold the lower ends of these ranges and take that second leg higher, that's where you want to start getting involved right here. Is those lower, is the lower end of this range, and then that will position you really well. You can have your stop loss just below the support systems, and then look for that continuation in the break here of these key resistance zones. But I mean, exactly, a lot of people in the chat are saying it. What is this downgrade? Oh, AAA to now AA1? Yeah, okay. See you later. I'm brushing that one off. That's nothing, and the market looks to be doing the same thing.
Well said, Joseph. Yeah. Well said, man. All right. We're doing it. We're going long here on NFE. I didn't even share my my side screen yet to talk about the names that I'm looking at, but we're just going to get involved with this one, and give me a second. I will share them. I do promise that. Give me a minute just to layer these orders, and then we'll talk about the trades that I've got on. I got back into, oh, wow, PTIX. Goodness gracious. This one's all gas, no brakes, 1180 high a day. It's back into that 11 and a quarter, but it's got an aggressive looking pattern right now. Let's see what this one wants to do. It's up 270%, so it's already a triple-digit winner. What a fantastic look for this one. Keep an eye out on it. I got into QMCO again, looking for a 14 hold and a pop into about that 14 and a half. We'll see how this one does. Small size here, punching in at the highs. I'm going to stop out below that mid 1390s. I think I gave it to 1388, so we'll give it in and around there. We'll see what the situation is with QMCO. Still putting in higher lows and higher highs, but the previous candle low is at the daunting low price of like 13.50. So I'm not going to give it that much room. Well, you know, sadly, sometimes you find yourself in the position where your stop placement can't jive with or your practical stop placement doesn't jive with your theoretical stop placement. Prior bar low, this, that, and the other. It's not going to work here. I'll be risking way too much, and I don't think it's appropriate for this trade. So keeping my eye on 1424, that is currently the high of the day. Now, NFE, what's the situation with this one? It's up 20%, just below 19.92%, higher highs and higher lows. I want to say, you know, this one's a bit of a slower mover. The volume weighted average price on NFE is a little bit higher than that 305, I want to say around 306. Most of the time, it's been respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5, but if it loses that area substantially, I will be gone there. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. Here comes QMCO back into that 14 and 20s area. Let's see if it can take out the high of the day. I think my expectations for my first profit taker on this one, a little too lofty. I'm waiting for 1440. I mean, this one hasn't given us like $5 or anything. It's given us a few bucks off the low. So we're going to keep an eye out on that one, and we're going to send it to Adair.
Keep an eye here on IBIT and JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JPM, making more comments about Bitcoin and crypto. He's saying outright that he is, quote, not a fan of Bitcoin. But as we get IBIT hitting to a new high of day, he did say one thing that's kind of positive here, guys. He said that JP Morgan is not going to custody Bitcoin, but they will allow customers to buy it. So that's actually pretty key. We know there have been some concerns about overregulation in the banking space when it comes to allowing customers to transact with crypto or to own crypto. Well, JP Morgan saying that they have no issue with letting customers buy it, though they have no interest in custodying Bitcoin. Back to you.
Crazy. And you know, everybody, if you know Jamie Dimon, he does not like Bitcoin whatsoever. Why? Because it's not necessarily that great for his business.
No.
Right?
Yeah,
but here he goes. Yeah, exactly, right? Well said, so, I mean, now that he's accepting it, look at this name. I don't know if it's exactly because of that, but maybe it's just adding a little fuel to that fire. And this is exactly, again, I'm going to say, this is what we want to see. It's just the slow adaptation from especially now that we have JPM say, hey, yeah, we're going to accept this stuff. Man. Yeah, and then boom, look, continuing to climb. Sharif, this is looking really good. Let's go. QUBT kind of leaving without me. That train it has now gone, but Tesla starting to climb higher, heading back towards that high of day. The Q's breaking through that consolidation zone. Nvidia as well. SPY doing it, but I'm love hearing this from Mr. Jeremy himself.
Absolutely. Well said, Joseph. Yeah. All right, guys, QMCO took it beak wetter there at the high of the day, 1435 beak wetter. It's zigging, it's zagging. The only thing that I really do like, well, I like a lot about this, the most consistent part about this has been the higher high, higher low. Okay. Now that doesn't have to hold forever. Here we go again, challenging 14, coming down into that $14 level. Again, anything below 13.88 gets me out of the trade. We were able to extract some profits there to the high side. Again, on my friend QMCO, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see whether or not it allows me to do that. It just got stopped out for the remaining amount, so we'll give a little bit back there. What I will set up at though is the higher than the prior bar low. So currently that's around 13.5, 13 1/3. Let's go ahead and wait there. So I'm going to wait right there. Let's see if we can get a money fill in and around that area. So that's my look there. Now, how's my other trade doing? NFE. We're knocking the door of my first beak wetter, 325. It's on the ask, 24 on the bid. Alas, it's got to cross above the ask for me to get filled. That's the thing we've talked about with these bad boys. It's called the spread, and you've got to move from the one side and move to the other in order to get that fill. So what I'm talking about is that 25 that's on the right side of the column has got to show up on the left for me to get filled. The right side is the ask. The left side is the bid. The bid is people who are looking to buy. The ask, obviously, are people looking to sell. And I don't mean to belittle anybody. Obviously, we have newer traders all the time, so I just want to explain that anew. So keeping my eye on NFE. There we go. We get the print as exactly what it does. 26 is now on the ask. 25s on the bid. Next level, we're waiting in the high 20s. So 29s, we'll see if we can get printed in and around there. Let's go back to QMCO because we've got a drip trade. Maybe it'll end up being a drip trade. Who knows? At 13.55. Now, what I'm looking here on QMCO is we got a topping till candle to make a high, or a candle, a 5-minute candle, excuse me, to make a new high on the day, 14.35, Joseph, and then it closes red. And the subsequent candle, red, and also another low. So does that break trend? So I'm going to keep my eye on this one really careful. Let's see if we can get something on it. What are you wowing over there?
The market just breaking out through some of these consolidation zones here, Sharif. So there you go, gaining all those grounds. I mean, heading back towards Friday's close here, guys. We're not too far off of that. This is what we want to see. I mean, this is some solid, strong stuff here. I mean, if we look at the volume profile, it's not ideal, right? This could signal a possible fake breakout. You can see that we're starting to stair step down, and then now there's an additional kind of let's wait for this 5-minute candle to print, and if it does to close as an inverted hammer, then you might get that move back towards the volume weighted average price. But I mean, I was just talking about it moments ago. If you can catch the lower end of this range and then you get the continuation in strength, you break through some key resistance zones, and that's being displayed right now, guys. So some really good looks. Bitcoin continuing to climb. QUBT did give us another opportunity to play this name, but it's a choppy one here, and I'm figuring that out. I guess it has a lot to do with the price of the stocks. They just move different than some of these heavier NASDAQ names. So yeah, I mean, there it is. We took a breakout here on QUBT, and then we took another small entry here that was displayed on the 1-minute time frames. I'll show it here one more time. It was just off of these signals here, but then it came back, stopped us out, and now we're making that additional leg, heading into some key support levels. So let's see if we can break through this. I'll pull up the options chain to see if there's any overhead resistance. I know last week we've seen some at 12 and 13. So if that has rolled over and been lifted in strikes, that's something I definitely want to see here, guys, in this space, most definitely. So here, QUBT, and we will take a look at the chain. Not displaying too much on this week's expiration cycle, but if we want to refer to the highest levels of open interest, that's going to put us at 14.5 on this week here, guys. So that can totally be in the works. Let's zoom out and see what we have going on from a daily standpoint. And this is why here, I'm going to pull up my notes too. Sorry to jump all over the place for you guys, but look. So I like the quantum space for two specific reasons, and that was the daily and just the strength from Friday, all right? So you can see we get that breakout through some of these areas, the volume supporting it, a massive, healthy, engulfing candle. This is what we want to see from a bullish standpoint. There's very little wicks. It's strong. It closes as a really strong candle, and these were the two names that I had on my list today, and that was it. QUBT and QBTS. Keeping it simple. I told you guys I'm a relatively simple individual. I looked at the daily. I was gonna take a stab at it, whether it worked or it didn't. I happened to be on the right side of the trade, but those were the two names there, Sharif, from the pre-market prep this morning.
That's banger, bro. Yeah. That's a banger right there. We're gonna shout you out for that. So that's that situation. All right, let's get real here and talk. So QMCO just got back into that. Let's look to what the beak there for that 14 pop. Shout out to my man Twan Vo. I don't know what is that, Joseph? Is that yuan? 1,000 yuan there?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like yuan there. So I'm not sure. We'll check it. Thank you very much. Question goes as follows. Asked about LAES earlier, LAES, when it was about 6% up. Now it's 17.25. Neil said $3 might be a bull signal. It just blew past 3. So here's what I'm seeing, man. I'm seeing a hell of a bull flag that formed now. It does start at around 9:30. You're going to get that move up, right? And then we get that sideways consolidation. And the beautiful thing about this is the bull flag uses that 280 level, right, over and over. So it's kind of like a flat bottom bull flag. I don't want to start describing different types of bull flags, but what it seemed to have been doing was finding buyers in the high 70s, low 80s. It does its period of consolidation from 10:55 till that breakout right at 11:40. So almost an hour worth of flagging, okay, in the bull flag. And then boom, you get the breakout through above that 290. Now it's 310. So what I'd be looking for is a second bull flag. Now, do you get the second bull flag every time? No, you don't. And that's part of the risk of trading. So look for that range. It's already given you the first candle there showing you what the range is. 3 to the low, 310 to the high. My suggestion to you is build your position in and around 3. Maybe the money fills are in the high 290s. Look for that second bull flag continuation. It doesn't give you that second bull flag continuation, then you've got a range with which to trade it. 3 to the low, 10 to the high. Get the hell out of there in the top of the 3 to 310. 309, 308. That gives you an exit strategy. So if you don't get that bull flag continuation or you're sick of waiting, because sometimes like no two bull flags are made equal, right? Some can have the consolidation component can be a few minutes, some can be an hour. You don't really know, okay? So that's my look right now on LAES. That's how I would trade it. It's up 16.5%. Let me give you the information on it though, okay? So it is a $364 million market cap. So it's a smaller cap, but definitely not too small, with a float of around 13.4 million shares. Let me verify that with my other platform. Okay, so I'm getting 13.4 on mine. Trade ID is telling me 94.5 with about just shy of a 7% float, just shy, okay? So 6.95%. So let me know how this goes. Hoping for the best for you, and yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. All right, Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm liking SQs here, guys, for a potential long. We got an indecision print here at the highs. I do believe that the market is slightly overbought right now, and this is what I like seeing. We double top right here at some of these post-market highs and Friday's closes. So this could be a potential sign for a short here, guys. I'm going to use SQQs for the long, but I'm looking at this specific signal right here. You see we get that gravestone or shooting star doji, whatever you would like to call it, plus the volume as well too is supporting this. If we get a pullback into the middle of this candle, I'm going to be longing the SQs, and that's going to be my trade plan right now. All right, so I'm going to be patient, excuse me, wait to see if we can get that entry. But if we do hold the crack of the low of this candle, then I will look to get involved in that. It's tough though, because you can see how strong the market has been today, and you don't necessarily want to be shorting it, especially if some of the bigger names are holding up around the highs. So it may be a little bit more of a grind, and you might get those multiple fake outs. I did believe that we were going to get a short earlier in the session off of, off of this print right here. You can see how large this volume candle was, but I'm like, oh, let me be patient on this one here. So that's what I thought would be a potential short. And then we get that volume spike as well here earlier in the session, guys, around 10 o'clock or so, 10:10 to be exact. And there you go. We're starting to break down. So SQQs moving higher. All right, I'm going to get involved in this, guys. You can see we're getting that breakdown. I want to zoom back into where we were just roughly looking at and pull it up on a 5-minute. Here we go. We cracked that. Oh, a little slow on my behalf. Dang. All right, so now I'm going to have to give this a little bit more room here. Let's see if we can get that move back towards the volume-weighted average price. I'm long SQs. That means I'm short the overall market here, guys. Let's see what Adair's got for us.
Just keep an eye here on the market. Some more kind of cautious comments here coming from Jamie Dimon. So, of course, for that matter, keep an eye on JP Morgan as well. Jamie Dimon, CEO of the company, saying that he would not be taking stagflation off of the table for the U.S. economy. He also said that geopolitical risk is, quote, very, very high. So some cautious comments here and coming here from our friend Jamie Dimon. If you missed it earlier today, he said that JP Morgan is not going to be having any custody of Bitcoin, but, excuse me, that he has no problem with customers buying it. Back to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, I'll pull those up here momentarily. I'm still short the market here, guys. You can see that via SQQs. So I'll pull that up here for you guys real quick. Nice, yeah, we'll see what's going on. I mean, if it cracks that high, or if, in this case, if it breaks through this low, I should have been in significantly earlier. So this is a chase, and you have to start smaller now. Because now, look at what my risk to reward is. I have to risk approximately 12, 13 cents on this trade, closer to 20 to be exact. But I don't necessarily want to do that. I am looking for that move back towards the lower end of the range. And if we crack that, then that can give us an opportunity to add into the position. So if we break through, where is it here? So yeah, if we crack this, then we can add into the position and look for that move back towards the volume weighted average price here, Sharif.
All right, just loading up X. I want to show everybody, I'm getting this kind of stuff now on my X account, okay? I saw my first robo-taxi with training wheels on, all right? We're getting a lot of these now on X. These things are driving around Austin, okay? Keep that in mind right there, Austin and Texas license plate. That's obviously the new Model Y. There's been a lot of these ones, Joseph. They show you exactly where they found them. And you know that guy I told you around that he flies his drone over the Austin plant?
Yeah.
He's been looking at these ones as well. There's others, Joseph, look at this with the training. That's the older Model Y, obviously. And then the guy, again, shows where it was. So we are seeing now the Model Y, at least in the wild, guys, the robo-taxi training. We are talking about a June launch. Again, if you're to believe what our friend Elon has been saying, this could be imminent. Now, if we can zoom in, open image and new tab, look at this. I love technology. Joseph, look at this. We can see this woman there, right? It looks to be anyway like there's a woman behind, so there is still that safety driver. We know
the safety driver.
The Waymos, there's no safety driver there no more. So we still got a safety driver, obviously thinking probably regulations, probably stuff like that until you get the full license, this, that, and the other. So yeah, Tesla. Obviously not a great day for Tesla today, Joseph, down 3.6%, but I definitely wanted to bring that to your attention. We are seeing these now on X. Yeah, where are the trading wheels? I don't think they actually meant physical trading wheels, brother. Meant camera systems and stuff like that. We know how the Teslas work. They use the built-in hardware to be able to read the road. No LiDAR, no sensors other than the camera. So that top camera there, obviously doing a lot of the heavy work until everything is kosher and approved by the regulator, not to be assisted. So gonna keep an eye on that, guys. A couple of positions. I got into QMCO again over here at 1380. Wet the beak at 1405. I'm long. I'm again long. I'm basically looking for dip trades off the 10 EMA. Always trying to take a little bit there for a possible breakout trade, with the dip trade being the majority of the size. So looking like we're dancing here with 14. 14 seems to be a bit of a problem, at least for the moment. Can't clear it decisively. 1435 high. We'll have to see how this cookie crumbles. I'm still waiting here for a 10 EMA retracement in the 60s. Let's see if we can get that printed there. NFE continuing to take prints on that to the high side at 3.25. That one at 330 though still doesn't get printed. And how about this one over here, TNGX, still holding at VWAP. What keeps me optimistic here about TNGX is the higher low, kind of possible flat top through that $1.84. We'll have to wait and see. It doesn't always have to end up being that way. Top VOIP. It's been a minute since I've seen your name in the chat. Sharif, did you finally buy a Tesla for yourself? No, I did not. So still very much interested in the Cybertruck. Here's the deal, though. Our friend Elon.
Who hit that?
I don't know, man.
Who hit that?
I don't know if it was the Chilean Nightmare or Assassino or who
I don't think it was definitely Fabian.
Oh, it was Neil. It was Neil. It was Neil.
Wow, the laugh.
Wow, we blamed the production people. No, we didn't do anything. I mean, they didn't do anything.
That just shows what kind of
I felt
shows
bad
our
there,
character
bro.
there.
Yeah, I know. I know. Poor Assassino, man. We're like blaming him for no reason.
And the Nightmare.
No, seriously though, your friend Elon likes to juice the quarterly deliveries. So when we get close to that ending that quarter, Joseph, he gives word to the salespeople, do the deals so we can get those quarterly delivery number up. That's what the information was given to me. So looking at going around that mid-June to end of June, we'll see if we can get a deal in it with a Cybe at the time. We'll have to wait and see who did that.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's what we're looking at there. And we're involved in a few names, as I mentioned, QMCO, NFE, and TNGX. What do you got, man?
Yeah, I'm still sitting in this queue short there, guys. As long as we don't crack this low. I told you this was a slight chase. If I got in here, but I was just more talking about it than looking to get involved. But I do believe we can catch the lower end of this range, and if we do, if we get into those neck of the woods there, Sharif, then we can most definitely break through that support level that I was talking about. That would be this over here, and then that's going to give us a good go-ahead and possible green light that we might get that move towards VWAP, and that's what we're aiming for here. So starting really small, I told you my risk to reward is already skewed on it because I am slightly chasing it. So with that being said, you also have to start slower and smaller, right? Like I can't go, unfortunately I can't go guns a-blazing like I did on QBTS, right? Which is all fun and games until you realize that you're not sticking to your plan. You're not doing necessarily what you should be doing. But I mean, we had a good time, and this is like totally calculated, right? So this is what I do. You guys see me from a day-to-day standpoint. Once the thesis starts working, we have to make those winners as big as we possibly can. Enter the trade. 100% add, an additional 50% add. Yeah, I missed the meat of the move, but we got that breakout through the pre-market. That's when we started taking profits, and then we did get stopped out 33%. We can't complain about that, but it's the aggression on the ads is more or less what I'm referring to, guys. And that's what it's such a skill that I love that I started to adapt, is just adding to it because it's fun. It's most definitely difficult at the start of it, but then once you get used to it, you're just like, oh, okay, I need to add to this position. It's winning, it's winning, it's winning. Let's continue to do so. But let's pull up QUBT. I didn't add into this. It is choppy. Actually, I did. Sorry, it just didn't work out, right? There was multiple opportunities when the breakout was happening to add, but I'm like, okay, let's be patient. We put on the trade, and if it's going to continue to the top side, it's going to display itself. And we attempted one, but then we just took another stab at it, and I'm glad that that one worked out. Tesla was another one that we traded via TSLA here, guys. We caught that breakout here, and I tried it. The ad didn't work out, but you can see we cracked through some key resistance zones. We enter the trade, boom, 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 boom. We start taking some partials out, look for the continuation and the break of that high day. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but that's okay. We're still short this a market, but let's see what Adara's got for us, guys.
Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, the stock is kind of consolidated here, but I want to mention it because he's saying a lot about tariffs. Lots of tariff talk happening here. He said that even these lowered tariff rates are, quote, pretty extreme, and saying that there's, quote, an extraordinary amount of complacency over U.S. debt and the current trade policies. So Jamie Dimon is not a fan of these tariff policies, even going as far as to say that apparently the company, JP Morgan, has lost business with global clients choosing local lenders since the tariffs. So Jamie Dimon not speaking highly here of tariffs, especially their impact on the company's business, with apparently some clients choosing local lenders as opposed to the company. Back to you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, it's Sharif just saying that Jamie holds some weight as well too in this market. So I mean, we're not getting that breakdown, strong stuff here, guys. I want to go through the Mag 7 quick before I send it back to Sharif. We're still in this SQQ long, so we'll go through a couple of the names, what Goggles is up to here on the session, guys. Pretty choppy, actually, if you look at it. You do get some breakdowns. I know Katina Man was trading that, so nice work just shorting it all the way up here into these zones. You can see we have this pre-market support level coming in as resistance, and you get that breakdown there, so that's a really good look on that front. AAPL, let's take a look at Apple. Again, coming off of those lows, some good indecision. Now heading back towards this opening price on the session there, guys. We'll pull up the King of Kings, as I would like to say. Jensen, one of those pretty strong here, Sharif. So what we dumped here on Friday post-market, now gaining all of that back, heading towards Friday's intraday, roughly close to Friday's intraday high there, guys. We're actually still a little bit off of that, but the big solid recovery here in Nvidia. Take a look at Meta as well to see what that is up to. Yeah, ooh, wow, strong session here on the day for Meta. I like seeing this here, and then for the final one, we'll pull up the ZOM. Here we are. Amazon, again, trading really well. So there you go. You have Meta, Amazon, and Nvidia trading relatively well today. Sharif, did you see your boy Donald was getting into it with your girl there, Taylor, over Truth?
My girl?
Yeah. I thought you liked there.
No, I like Dua Lipa. You know I like Dua Lipa.
You know
I'm like, my girl
you know
Taylor
I'm messing
since
with
when,
you, bro.
huh?
Yeah, you know I'm messing with you. But him
yeah,
and,
Dara, he tried to say that I like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You know
How
I don't
dare
like
you, Joe?
Yeah.
He likes Dua Lipa.
Boom. Make sure to like and subscribe, by the way, as Darren was just showing there.
All right, there you go. But yeah, him putting some truths out, some Taylor, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I don't see those two ever getting along unless she votes for him. That's not gonna happen.
And campaigns.
You know,
for
he's
him.
gonna always not like her as long as, you know, right? Whatever. Get it, Donald. All right, here's the deal. While Donald dances up on the screen, we're showing you the chart here of NFE. Just printed the day high at 31. We wet the beak there at 29s. The next little area we're looking for there, 35er on NFE, up about 23.5%. Let's see if this one can continue to put in higher highs and higher lows. Guys, what I observe here on NFE is that it's putting in a lot of respect here for the 10 exponential moving average. We're getting hate. I'm getting hate from the chat. What I can't understand is why you would continue to watch us when you dislike us. Funny.
I mean,
hey man, just hang out with us. Maybe you might see some things our way. We're quite objective, by the way. And when there's good stuff being done by the other side, make sure to call it out. But
yeah, exactly.
NFE, Joseph, 331 and going. And what I see here, Assassino, is that this one has been quite respectful of that green line. That green line will always be the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart for me, guys. All right, we're going up to Adara. She's got happening now, and then we're going to Neil's lesson of the day.
This is the S&P 500, and shockingly, guys, we're actually almost green on the day. Still red, down about 0.2%, but certainly a far cry from this morning when we gapped down. In case you missed it, Moody's downgrading the U.S. credit rating did have the market in a bit of a bad mood to start the session, but clearly recovering quite nicely. NASDAQ almost identical, but actually slightly weaker than the S&P 500 from a percentage basis, down about 0.3%. IWM, last time I checked, was mirroring these two, and it continues to do so. Certainly down more on a percentage basis, but near day's highs, technically resembling what we have here with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Keep an eye on Microsoft. We're supposed to have a keynote from CEO Satya Nadella for the developers conference coming up. I have not seen anything about that as of right now, but something to be aware of. JP Morgan also worth being aware of here. Now, in case you missed it, they did have their Investors Day happening right now. Tomorrow, they have their shareholders meeting, so there could be more JPM excitement. But Jamie Dimon, their CEO, making lots of interesting comments on crypto. He is still very much not a fan of crypto here. And the other thing here that was mentioned was he basically is not speaking positively about these tariff policies either. I'm also seeing comments coming from this Microsoft event now. Apparently, they're going to be hosting XAI, Grok, Mistral, and Black Forest AI models from their Azure data centers. So Elon Musk's XAI and, or I guess Grok is XAI, being hosted here from the Azure data centers. So keep an eye on some of these AI-related partnerships and news. IBIT really strong here. Great look here for Bitcoin, despite Jamie Dimon's less than positive comments on crypto. He did say, though, that he has no problem with customers of JP Morgan getting involved here or buying BTC. UNH dropping a little bit here, but still in a nice uptrend. Actually, at one point, back above the $310 level. UNH on watch since last week's CEO resignation. Then on Friday, we had 3 different directors at the board scoop up stocks. So let's see if UNH can continue to recover and get back to health. Before we send you back to the midday, guys, we're going to send you over to Neil and his lesson of the day. So without further ado, please take it away, Neil.
Thank you very much, Adair. No, thank you, Jeremy Dimon. No, we love Jeremy Dimon, Jamie Dimon there. And all jokes aside, you got to know when to get out. And I think when you're looking at a morning like this morning, where we had, some would call it some pretty big bad news when it comes to Moody, and overall, pretty much everything was down. When you had the big week that we had last week, like you were thinking, okay, we've got a really good rally of a lot of overhead resistance. Let's see if we get a bit of a sell-off. Well, what happens when the market ends up in an upward trend? Then at some point, you're going to be wrong on a few things. So what you've got to be able to do is, A, try to separate the wheat from the chaff, which is at the open or in the opening range or whenever your trading strategy is going to light up your first few trades. Try to pick the right things to be in, which is equally important when the market's trending up. So what I do is then say, well, if the market's going up and you want to short into resistance, let something get to a key price. Or, as the market's screaming up, allow something to be relatively weak and then play into that. So the first part I want to discuss is, like, Apple ends up in an upward trend, but we're able to go short. Firstly, because right off the bat, this is what the NASDAQ did. ES did the same thing as well. It broke higher, so you're looking for where is the relative weakness. Well, Apple broke lower, so clearly it's relatively weak. The first available pop, it puts in a little bit of a bear flag. So you take your shot there. And the way I see it, had the market resolve to breaking down, then Apple goes through the lows and you have an all-day short opportunity. It doesn't, so what do we have to do? It's an upward trending market. Yes, it's relatively weak, but once it breaks that, you got to get out and wait for the next trade because you're trending up. Where is the next trade going to be? You don't always know, but to me, it's step by step. Wait for it to get into this pre-market where it broke down. Look for that short. But what happens after that? The market continues to hold trend. It bounces off the volume-weighted average price. So again, you're just waiting for your resistance. And once it breaks that resistance, notice I'm not shorting this anymore. I might take a shot at this 208 hold, but I'd like to see a test of the actual pre-market high of 208.5 because the market continues to trend higher. So you wait for that next opportunity to line up for you and don't sit there fighting it over and over again. It gets to your level, great, go back and do it again. Sean was doing it with Google until it stopped working, to my opinion, at this level on Apple. You keep going at it. But you want to see what happens if you fight something that just because you assume it's going to be good. Now, Novavax, they had news this morning, obviously, didn't go the way that anybody would have wanted for the long. Unless you were long in the pre-market, trending up, looking relatively strong, the first thing it does at the open is hold the volume-weighted average price. Now, admittedly, if you bought VWAP in here, then you could have got this at 935 when I was trading Apple or getting fills in Apple for the first time. You could have bought the VWAP dip, played it to the high. So when you're reloading it at VWAP, you're not actually, at worst, maybe you're flat on the stock because you would have at least banked one win. I only got it the second time through. So I only got it this time. We didn't get it the first, but once it broke that prior low, you got to jump out. This is what we talk about where it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. Because if you continue to fight this at pretty much every single level, all you're doing is losing, losing, losing. Now, admittedly, it does break trend, not where I was expecting it to, but it does give you a VWAP trend. And by the way, this is losing the $8 level. I'm actually looking at this one for a fail underneath $8. Quickly, this is a daily chart. There's a wick high at the $8 level, and there's a lot of resistance in the 850 zone. So I'm looking at this one right now for a potential short underneath the $8 level. But if you don't acknowledge where you're wrong and the trend is reversing, admittedly you could be short here, you're going to find yourself fighting it, fighting it, fighting it. It's one thing when it's playing the trend to the upside and you're buying the dips, or you're getting a really great short entry over and over again like you could there on Apple until it eventually breaks. But it requires that level of discipline, especially when, in this particular case, in Novavax, you're getting out of the long when the futures are looking strong. But you've just got to understand, hey, if this is turning relatively weak, I've got to be able to jump out of it. And the other side of this equation to keep in mind is when you start looking at like your plan of action in the morning, and I'm going to slap myself with, like I didn't trade Nvidia, so it's hard to give yourself a fail. You can be up, down, left and right, good day, bad day, medium day, whatever it might be. But if you have like one long idea out of everything that looks like a short and it breaks higher and trends higher, there should be an entry in there somewhere. So with Apple, it was relatively weak. You could find a couple of shorts, even in an upward trending market. With Novavax, it tried to trend up early, took the shot at it. Once it broke, we got out right away. Both of those perfectly fine with, because we weren't fighting the stocks and we waited for our levels. Nvidia, however, over under 32, well, played over at the open, but it was instantly like $1 to $2 over, which makes it tricky to trade off of that level. But there was something we could have played into. We spent a lot of time talking about Friday lows on stocks, if you could have held it. And Nvidia did have something along those lines. If you look at Friday's bottom, that's 133.5. That's a little bit of a stretch, but then you go the day before, it's closer to 133.70. I think as we dipped in and proved that we're going to hold a bit above there, that even dollar above started to come into play. And I can tell you exactly why I'm not long Nvidia today. Because one of my favorite indicators is VWAP. Sometimes when the stock is showing you the trend that you want, you have to find an alternative entry. It's one thing to wait for the right levels like we did on Apple. It's another thing to completely ignore the levels that are being shown to you because you like something a little bit better. The market doesn't care what you want. And if you have one long idea and it just says, well, we're going to hold 134 here, then we're going to hold 134.5, then we're going to hold 135. Well, if every 50 cents holds instead of the volume weighted average price and you like the long, then you should be taking the long every 50 cents. So lesson of the day here, you want to stick to your plan. If it continues to work, reload at the levels, reload on the trend. If it stops, not only do you get out, you wait for the next available setup. And if it's not there, you back off. I'm no longer shorting Apple. But if it's giving you in your face every single dip that you want, Nvidia, sometimes you've got to be able to step away from your hope, which is that you get VWAP, and move to what the market is telling you, which is a simple every $0.50 Nvidia seems to be holding. That one's an absolute rocket ship. Hopefully it can get green for everybody because I'm sure lots of people are long Nvidia. Good luck in the midday, boys. There's your lesson of the day.
Thank you very much for that, Neil. Appreciate the good luck and the awesome lesson, Neil Roberts. Every day around that noon hour, make sure you're hanging out with us so you can catch Neil's lesson of the day. Shout out to my man Zion. We're going to do this one live here for your boy Zion Lala. He wants to know about Satea stock here.
ETA?
SYTA.
Oh, Satea stock.
Yeah, I know. It's very similar to our name. I'm going to cover that in a second, Tisha. I did take a trade on the breakout on PTIX for a 50 penny banger. I'll cover that in 1 second, but SYTA, very strong, Joseph, on Friday. I wasn't here, obviously, but look at that closing print. Oh my goodness, something happened here. The buy program got turned on. Looks like around 5 o'clock, around 3 o'clock, but then all hell broke loose to the downside as well. But we ended up being positive on the day. Alas, today, we continue with that kind of look. What's going on over there?
They're talking about the positivity.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's up and to the right. So your boy Zion, wants to know, would you enter above VWAP? Absolutely, Zion. But what I see here is a plethora of higher highs and higher lows. So what I'm looking for is a deeper retracement of one of these candles. Like, look at this outlier over here, the 5-minute candle Zion right at 11:30, or that other one at 11:45. You're looking for these outlying candles to buy the trend. Now, there seems to be some resistance in the 60s, okay? You got that initially up here on the topping till right at 940, implied balance high. Then again on these two candles at 1105 and 1110 at 65. But what you notice when you look even further is that higher low situation just untouched. It keeps doing it over and over. And does that mean it's going to do it forever? No, that's not the point. The point is to put the statistical advantage in your favor. This is trading. We are trying to trade setups that are more likely to result in profit than loss. We're talking about, just stats here, really nothing more. So when you're getting this trend of higher highs, higher lows, chances are you might see some more higher highs after that. Okay, so here we go at that 340 area. I happen to like it. Now, what I feel here, Zion, is the money fills have been just a skosh or two below that 10 EMA on the 5, just below that green line. That's where the money fills have been. You can see that the closing prints all shadow or close at the 10 EMA. However, the wicks do breach them. That's why I say to you, my opinion, the money fills are just south of that 10. Do that kind of information as you like, my man. I hope you print up multiple storms. Goes without saying that that's how I feel. Let me know how that trade ends up working out for you, my man. And I'll be there to shout you out should it be good. Big smile. My man gets me excited when I see that big smile in the chat. Joseph, Sharif.
Uh-oh.
I have the weird prints as well on the SPY using TradingView. Katina Man's answering that in the chat right now. I see what he's saying. He's like, those are not real prints. Obviously sometimes that is a problem. Big Smile, I saw your message to me on the gram. Is that a glitch on TradingView? Hard to know, brother. I think TradingView, guys, I don't know, maybe somebody can confirm this. I'm pretty sure TradingView uses BATS as the exclusive gateway. So all of it's, again, fact check me, chat, in case I'm wrong on that. We can do a chat search, but I'm just too lazy. It uses the BATS gateway. So the prices that you're seeing on TradingView are coming vis-a-vis BATS. I could be wrong. How's your friend Copilot over?
I'm loving it. Yeah, you want to know what I'm reading about here, Sharif?
Is it about bats and trading view?
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm just okay. I'm playing, bro. I'm playing. What are you reading about?
I think you'll like this, Sharif. And I know I've been talking about it for some time here, guys. All right, so this is exactly. I just wanted to know exactly what kind of numbers we're looking at here, and I didn't get exactly, but I'll read some of it here. So, Saudi Arabia, Nvidia will supply hundreds of thousands of AI chips to Saudi Arabia's newly launched AI startup Humane, backed by the country's sovereign wealth fund. The first batch includes 18,000 of Nvidia's latest Blackwell chips. And I'm just going to the extent of this deal, right? So I'm reading some things from Reuters as well. So Donald Trump also secured $600 billion in commitments from Saudi Arabia to U.S. companies during a tour of the Gulf states. I mean, this is why I love this name, and you can see it just continuously trading stronger. Since that announcement came out, we sat on the backside of the trend from a technical standpoint, but now from a fundamental standpoint, this is so huge, and I've been talking about it for the previous 2 weeks. I'm going to continue to talk about it. This is going to be a strong name for the foreseeable future. I will be grabbing whatever I possibly can on whatever micro pullback I see. Did I get some this morning? No. I want to wait until the high 20s to get involved, but I think at some point, definitely by the end of the year, Sharif, we see a 2 in front of this name. I'm loving what AMD, Nvidia, and Amazon have to offer. We call it advanced money destroyer, but now we got to change that to the duplicator. Why, Sharif? Because it's essentially up, well, not essentially, it is up 50% from those lows here, guys. 58% to be exact. Let's pull it up from a daily standpoint and see what we got going on. I was doing these numbers, so we have a low of approximately 76. We're now trading at 114. This is some beautiful stuff here, guys. And I mean, who thought of this with AMD? 49%, guys. But off of those all-time highs, we want to avoid that. We have now cracked this downtrend and are sitting on the backside of it. That's a positive sign. And we got some good news coming out from the Gulf countries as well. I like the chip space. It seems to be alive once again, Sharif.
All right, man. Sounds good. We're going to definitely echo that sentiment. Here's the deal. PTIX, we got long 12. Wet the beak there at 25s. Wet the beak at 40s. Wet the beak at 50s. So that's a good trade. Just put a bad trade on. Punch long at 13s. Gave it a bit of a tight stop there, give it to 70s, and then we ended up getting stopped out. Alas, we're zigging. We're zagging with 13 right now, a little above, a little bit below. Shout out to Tisha. I know you've been trading up a storm on this one, Tisha. I hope you've been printing up a storm as well and been wetting that beak along the way. As Neil said, man, you know, nobody ever went broke taking profits. Maybe they did. I don't know. I haven't checked everybody in the world. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out on this one. Here we go. It's getting a bit of a bid now. Does it hold 13? Does it hold 13? It's got a higher low candle. Obviously, I think putting a tight stop below this, just not the move right now on this name. So I will kind of steer clear of this one at the moment. QMCO as well coming back in against me here. Okay, this one is losing that level. We just got stopped out on QMCO. If it holds VWAP, I'll get back in. The price on VWAP, 13.25. It's at 13.33 right now. So QMCO losing the bid quite aggressively. Be careful with this one, guys. It certainly has some support level here at 20s. Let's see if we can get something in and around this level, and then we'll look to get out if it loses that 20 penny level. So I'm gonna wait here as well for a possible dip trade at 25. Right, nice, okay, I'm already in the money on it, but this is not where I wanna take profits, by the way. Oh, with the beak here. We'll see what we can get, and then we'll move up into this area as well. Yeah, it's already taken out my levels. I wanted to get a little bit more, but sometimes you're not given the opportunity to get more. So we're doing a little bit, of a dip trade here on QMCO. Simultaneously, I'm still holding NFE. We're trading at the day's highs. I haven't added anything on this one, though. This has been my mistake here on NFE. It's been putting in a lot of respect for the 10 EMA. I should be adding for those moves, and I haven't. So a little bit upset with myself there. I see you guys talking about the future about to go green.
Yeah.
The ES is down 0.15 now. Joseph, the NQ down 0.26. You have a lot of these weaker names like Apple that have just broken out into highs. No real explanation as to what the hell is going on with that, but, you know, that's just been weak lately, so you're going to have to come accept that as it is, right? So keep your eye out on that. PTIX continues to go, guys. Where's my PTX screen? Excuse me for a second. There it is. Continues to go 1340 now, high a day. I traded this one wrong at the top, but we're positive on it, so going to keep that in mind. Looking to do a little bit more here on PTIX because it's continuing to go. 335% now is the up move on PTIX. Let's see if we can get away enough from 13 so that we can use 13 as support. Okay, we used 12 as a resistance for quite a long time. I'll submit to you from around 11 a.m. till about 1 hour, actually 11:05 to 12:05. We used 12 as resistance. So we'll see what this one does, and then we'll look to execute on it again if it's warranted. Joseph.
Yeah, good look there. All right, guys, let's go over some of the names you guys are kindly asking me to go over in the chat. I mean, UNH is continuing to climb, guys. We've talked about that multiple times today, but let's get into some gold talk, and then we will get into some Reddit because I was asked kindly. So yeah, let's pull up gold. I guess now you're kind of seeing a rotation. I mean, the run that we had with gold was phenomenal. You can't really complain about this. And a pullback like this isn't absolutely horrible. I mean, you're still only 6% off of those highs. We're going to talk more about gold here momentarily from a technical standpoint and RDDT. But let's see what Adair's got for us.
Microsoft in this nice little bull flag here. We have Satya Nadella, CEO, delivering the keynote at their Build Developers Conference. He's talking about Copilot right now, and he's saying this update is maybe the biggest since the company introduced their Microsoft Teams feature. So big, I guess, Copilot update here, MSFT itself in a bull flag. Excuse me, just worth noting he is speaking. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. If there's anything else here, I'll let you guys know. Back to you.
Darren, that's why we're going to pull up Microsoft right now, because if he says something, one thing to know, I want to kind of just fixate on the fact that Adair said this bull flag, and if you get any form of positive catalyst, that can give enough volatility and liquidity into the market for you to break this consolidation phase and continue to the top side. I mean, it may or may not come, but if you sit and you're patient and you wait, that opportunity may arise, and it'll give you the ability to take advantage of it. So I like you pointing that out there, Adair. Much appreciated. My eyes are now on Microsoft here. I have it on one of my secondary charts, so I'll keep an eye on that. But I want to go back to some gold because we might see some rotation, but it's still, I only mentioned that we're only 6% off of those all-time highs. So there you go on gold. Nice pullback. See that this was a good signal. You can see that kind of the stopping volume, the stopping volume, big engulfing candle at an extreme high. You just have multiple gap up days, I guess, other than the futures. But here you are, and this is what you want to see when you get a short. You get a retest of that high, so you're now constructing that lower high, and that gives you another opportunity to add, and you crack through this key pivot and head a little bit lower there in GLD. Let's pull up RDDT. Billion is asking, is this a good time to buy this name? I just don't know. I personally don't use Reddit. I mean, if you look at it, it has taken a hefty haircut from that peak to this current low right here, 65%. This uptrend is still holding. If it breaches there, you can, and this is just what I'm thinking out loud here. If it breaches this trend, which it kind of did, it opened up below it, then I would look to get out. But if we reclaim it and sit on top, that can give you a possible entry as well there too, Shri.
All right, great segue there. Let's talk a little bit about Softy. Ooh. And so they've got a developer conference all week, guys, all right? So today's the first day, as Adair just alluded to there, our friend Satya giving the keynote. So what I'm trying to say is expect more news as the week goes along. We know Softy's been very strong lately. It's bucking the trend with respect to some of these Mag 7 names. It's up on the year, up about 8 2/3, just shy of Meta's 9 1/5. But obviously well below Uber and well below Netflix, 52 and 32% respectively year-to-date highs. Now let's talk about this one. What are we expecting from these bad boys here? So Microsoft kicks off its annual developer conference today, targeting developers looking to monetize AI integrations. The company's already spent an eye-watering $64 billion in 2025, largely, Joseph, on data center expansion to support AI services like your favorite, Copilot. All right? But they are evolving their relationship with OpenAI, with Altman and crew. That deep partnership that they initially had in 23 and in early 24 appears to be on the verge of being recalibrated, Katina, man. He kind of saw that coming. Obviously owed to OpenAI's collaboration with Oracle, a direct competitor of Microsoft vis-a-vis the cloud, and the massive Stargate project that they're supposedly working with on Oracle. Who remembers that? with, what's his name, of, what's that Japanese guy's name? Masayoshi Son. Thank you, Katina, man. From SoftBank, we saw Masa. We saw the tall dude from Oracle. What's that guy's name again? The tall dude?
The tall guy?
Larry Ellison. Thank you, Katina, man. And the short dude, Altman, together. All of them there at the White House, and we saw
Altman Masayoshi was the shortest.
Well, they're both pretty short, but anyway.
You think Altman's short? I don't think he's that short.
You didn't see him with MBS and Donald?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you short? All right.
Yeah. Donald and MBS are tall. Yeah. Anyway, suggests a shift from the exclusive agreement that they had with Softy. CEO Satya Nadella says optimization could deliver 10 times more cost efficiency. I'll take that, baby. Versus the previous algorithms. Microsoft is increasingly keeping core AI services in-house, obviously with Azure. Remember, they were one of the partners that the Middle Eastern companies had to use if they wanted access to these advanced GPUs. Case in point, G42, they had to partner with Microsoft. The Biden administration didn't want to give them direct access because they thought they were going to give them to China and other issues that they have in the Middle East. We all know about that. Using outside providers as well, Microsoft, that is, using CoreWeave only for these short bursts of compute. Otherwise, they're keeping it in-house. And they're avoiding more investment in physical infrastructure because they don't really know where this goes, that dirt and cement, so to speak, and instead outsourcing peak demand to these neo-cloud firms, again, like CoreWeave, that have obviously specialties in NVIDIA GPU capacity. So bottom line is, we're going to get some information, whether good or bad, about some of the collaborations that Microsoft has in the works, and I'm all ears, obviously, because Microsoft's done very well. And it had a bit of a crappy 24. Let's just be honest about it. It ran so aggressively in 23 because of its association with OpenAI. It took kind of a nap in 24, but 25 is back, baby, and it's near those highs again. So Softy.
2% to be exact, Sharif.
2%
off of those.
We're 2% off the highs. I love how you just had that set up.
Yeah.
I mean, Joseph. I mean, we'll look at that low. Is that Liberation Day low? How much would they have made, Joseph?
Oh man.
Okay, last time I counted it, it was 30% off the bottom. Give them the new number. What are we at?
Well, 32%.
32%. So we keep inching up, man. It's a good look. It's a fantastic look for Softy. I personally didn't see this coming. I didn't think that they were going to be growing with the aggression with which are growing on Azure, especially when we saw the cloud miss on Google Cloud. And we saw the clue on AWS. They both missed. And Microsoft was like, yeah. All right.
See you later.
We're gonna hold my drink.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, hold my beer is
hold my beer. Yeah. I don't drink, but yeah, it's all good there.
Yeah, I mean, no, but
throw that in there.
Yeah, like you and I were talking about this before, how they were the only cloud service to actually beat out of the big three. They beat Google Cloud and they beat AWS, and then look at this. Look how that's reflected here in the stock price, guys. We're 2% off of those all-time highs. So yeah, fantastic look. I'm still short this market, and it's not necessarily a good thing here. UNH is going through the roof here, guys. Back to 312. So massive oversold bounce there. It was down over 50%. And now just slowly climbing back. I think there is going to be an opportunity to get involved. I would like to buy some shares around 300, but I don't know if that's going to catch any form of any sort of fill just yet, guys. But yeah, there we go. Tesla starting to climb back through the volume-weighted average price. The market looking like it wants to take another leg. So here we go. This might be my first loss of the day, Sharif. I told you guys it was a slight chase. If we crack the lows here, then I'm going to get out of this trade. That would mean the SPY and the Q, or not the SPY, sorry, the Qs have put in a new high of day, and I don't want to be short this market. If all these big names are really starting to pick up some steam, you can see Nvidia is bull flagging. Dara mentioned the bull flag here in Microsoft, and if they decide to break out to the top side, which okay, yeah, we'll cover those. And you can see here, guys, that Microsoft is really starting to break out here, dragging the market higher with it, and you don't want to be going against this trend right now, guys. But we got to go over some key super chats. I see a lot here in what you guys are going over. So we'll start with Kelvin TS, sorry. What's with these dark pool wicks? Can you guys give them a little attention? I'm confused. And that's what the two other following super chats are about. There's some dark pool wicks on the SPY. Yeah, I think there's just misprints there, guys. I don't have them specifically on this, but that's what it's looking like. I've seen some people reporting their platforms have the exact same thing. So don't dig too much into it. Maybe just some misprints on your platforms. As you can see, everything's okay. We are breaking out, so that's a positive sign, Sharif.
Yes, sir. And these dark pool prints, sometimes, guys, I'll get them on my platform. I won't understand why. my platform typically doesn't include dark pools, which are usually what these wicks are. And then sometimes it does, Joseph. So I don't know how to square this circle, to be honest with you.
You're talking about the other.
Yeah, I'm not talking about this
exactly.
right now. I'm just talking about my personal brokerage. I don't get dark pool prints on the charts on my brokerage account. They just don't happen. Well, we get them here for regulatory reasons. And then sometimes I'll just see them spike up on my platform. So maybe it's a filter that doesn't work with my brokerage and they happen to come through. I don't really know. We can't really tell you guys. So I'm not going to really try to go on and on about it. Suffice it to say, if you're ordered in trigger, then you needn't worry about it. But I've known guys who've had orders fill on dark pools, okay? Just make that very clear, okay? All right, what's the situation we're in right now? We're back into PTIX here, break even, putting my stop at current candle low, looking for a continuation possibly into 13. Oh my God, Sharif, big gains, Cobra.
Yeah, you seen that one?
Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I mean, like, you can't just have a name like that. I mean,
the market moves like the waves, always rolling. So stay in the game. Like, show them the video after this.
What video? What video? Oh, I'm out of the.
Bro, shut up.
I'm out of the queues.
What are you talking about, bro? I don't know, man. We're talking about these wicks, that dark pools that show up. So sometimes you'll have like these candle spikes that don't really reflect the price action. People wondering what the hell is going on. That's what I'm talking about. All there. Shout out to my my man Sharif Big Gains Gabriel in the chat. I like this guy a lot, man. Gorev, these dark pool wicks are so annoying. Don't I know it? Everybody doesn't like these dark pool wicks. I haven't met a trader that says, oh, yeah, dude, you know what? It was a bad day today. I made like $300. I made $1,000, but I didn't get any dark pool wicks on my charts. It's a bad day. No, I don't usually hear that, brother. Everybody hates these things. You're just gonna have to work around them. Now, different platforms have different ways that you can weasel around them, or you can remove the current candle. You can filter the current candle to your own range by juxtaposing it on another one. However it's gonna work, let me know how you do it. I know how to do it on my platform and on the trading platform here. All right, I just took a beak wetter on PTIX at 13, so we'll take a 20-penny winner there, but we're still zigging and zagging. Now, this current candle that we're in right now, the 1230 candle on the 5, has a lower high than the previous area high. That previous area high is 1305. Alas, it has a higher low as well. The previous area low, 1240. So we've got a candle right now that can't break through 13, but is basically a candle of indecision right now with neither a high nor a low that breaches the previous candle. So keeping an eye on this one, tight stop below the $0.50. I won't be DCing into that though. Did I add onto my other trade? Oh, it didn't fill, dang it. NFE, tried to get that 20 exponential on the 5 retracement. It didn't have me, so keeping my eye out on this one. Now it's got a 3 candle lower high set up. Let's see if that one wants to give up the ghost. A 331 high on this one, on NFE that is. AISP, one that I didn't say too much about today, but that's been on my side chart basically all day. I wouldn't have been trading this one below VWAP. Alas, it got right back above VWAP, and look where it's having trouble. I happen to love this number, 525. The high of the day. It keeps getting into that number, or that level, excuse me, and rejecting. So we'll keep an eye on that. It happened once, twice, OB thrice, and then a 4th time over here. So somebody's selling up a storm at 525 usually, and only usually, never always. That usually results in a flat top breakout. So maybe build your position. And there it is, Joseph. We take them out, 526, new high of day on AISP. Let's see if this one wants to continue to run. I'm going to keep my eye out on this one, Joe.
Yeah, good luck there, guys. I decided to long some TSLA. I got stopped at a SQs, small size. We're still nicely green on the day. I'm just messing with some realized, putting on some shares to see if we can get some nice trades here for you guys. But here it is, Tesla, looking for the continuation in the breakout. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm short the market. That's not good. Tesla looks like it's going to break out. But if we crack this, I'll just hop out of this trade there, guys. I'm not going to hold on to it. It is one of the weaker big names, so we don't want to fight this whatsoever. I mean, we've put in some nice trades here today. So for me to go down 1 or 2 ain't nothing but anything but a chicken wing, Sharif.
I love that, man. That's from White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing. What is? Hold on. Ain't nothing.
Ain't
no thing but a chicken wing on a string. Yes, Neil. Neil came in hot with that. Thank you, Neil, for saving me because I blanked out. Adair.
Just be aware here, Dell on watch. Dell Technologies, I'm just seeing some press releases coming out here on X. Apparently, the company has unveiled a new next-generation enterprise AI solutions here with Nvidia. So Dell here and some Nvidia collaborations. Apparently, these include plans to support Nvidia's Vera CPU and its Vera Rubin platform through its Dell PowerEdge XE server. So it looks like some Dell and Nvidia collaborations here. We know this Computex conference is happening this week, so keep an eye on some other potential announcements in this space. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yeah, guys, I mean, I'm long as the market is kind of peaking out. So if we crack this, then I'll just hop out of this trade. But UNH is the gift that just keeps on giving, as a couple of my friends around here like to say here. Guys, what a big-time move. 314.47, climbing off of these lows, 298 all the way up to 315 here. And let's zoom out and see what we got going on from a daily standpoint. 101, this is A triple plus. This is AAA. You know who doesn't have AAA rating anymore, Sharif?
Wow. You're just going to dunk on him like that, eh?
Hey, it is what it is, brother. No, it's all fun and games.
Canada's still AAA.
We're still AAA, so it's Germany.
Oh,
but,
here comes the hate,
there
bro.
We go, the hate,
Bring
man.
in the
No
hate.
longer, I don't know. Listen, that doesn't even matter. Regardless of what it is, I'm parking my money in American treasury bonds.
Yeah, we're not going to argue about
we're
that.
never arguing that fact. So whatever that little downgrade is, that's nothing. Ouch, says a couple people in the chat. No, we're just joking around. You guys have Nvidia, and that's all that matters. But UNH still continuing to climb a nice bounce off the lows.
All right, Joseph, you know what we're doing right now, right? We got to tell them about something. Trade the pool. No, I'm not going yet? Oh, my bad. Trading the pool is redefining what risk means for traders. No more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the market. They give you access to company capital up to $200,000 to trade real stocks, not CFDs. And your downside, guys, is limited to a single one-time fee that starts at just $47. That means no blowing up your personal account. You get to trade with serious buying power, all while knowing your loss is capped. And all you have to do, I should say, is to pass the evaluation, and that's it. You're funded. So scan that QR code and get 10% off to start trading with Trade the Pool. Shout out to the great folks there. All right, guys, we're doing it live here on my friend PTIX. Tisha, are you still involved in this one? What's going on? This one is really bull flagging here, and I don't know where this one resolves. Usually the textbook says it resolves in the direction of the trend. You needn't look far to see that this one is up and to the right, and here we go again, knocking the door of 13. I've got 12 and a half on right now. I've wet the beak already at 75s. I'm looking for a break above 13 with that high of the day being 1340. It's a compression pattern happening right now and has been happening since that 1220 5-minute candle close. We've had higher lows, but we've also had successively lower highs. So an obvious compression pattern, a pennant, so to speak. Let's see if we can get something maybe on the north side of 13, Joseph. Here comes 13, 1395, sorry, 1295 that is. We can't break through 13 though, so we'll pack our patience there. We'll see what we get, and we won't get upset. Looking for that move above 13 as I watch the time and sales. Now, why am I looking at this and doing the show at the same time? Well, we want to see where that hidden seller is coming in at. He's coming in at 95s. All right, that's been my observation. The hidden seller blocking this one from ascending above 13s, 5 pennies lower than that whole dollar level. Now, we'll have to watch when and if that 95 seller gets cleared. Do we then have yet another resistance level at 13? There's that 95 again. Can't shake them. Can't shake 95. So it keeps moving up to 95, but the order's so big it just keeps blocking it down. Now, what you should be on the hunt for here is if you're looking at that 95 level over and over and over as the level that we're rejecting, and then say we dropped back down to say 70. We move up to 90, but it's not 95 this time that's rejecting. It's like 93. So then you know that the algo that was posting the hidden order at 95 has moved it down by a couple of pennies. And that's often what happens, right? Incremental moves down. They don't happen just on the chart, they happen on the level 2. And so you can see it, if you're able to read it on the level 2 earlier, then it will manifest on the chart. And that's what I'm telling you to be on the lookout for. So if a level keeps coming in as a resistance level, like a 95 level, and then all of a sudden, you're not rejecting at 95s anymore, over and over, you're rejecting at some other level close to 95, know that the algo is moving it down. Now, does that end the matter? Does that mean that no buy order can take out that seller at 95? No. No, of course not. There's going to be somebody with more money that can push it through. The point is to know what's there, what's hidden behind the hidden order, so to speak. That's what I want to talk about there. Keeping my eye on this one, looking for a move up, Joseph.
That's love hearing that, brother. All right, let's go over some of the top performing sectors here on the day, Sharif. I don't usually get a dare to do that, but let's take a look at what we got, guys, and who is leading the pack today, and that is going to be the healthcare sector. Let's go. Up about 6
tell the boys today, too, the healthcare was strong.
Sector is strong, man, strong. So there you go. There we go, up 0.6%, guys. Financial sitting in second place here. It probably was significantly higher before Jamie we took the same, but there we go, up about 1/5 here, and then materials up about 0.15% there, guys. Bottom 3, tech sector taking a beating. I shouldn't say that because it's been a really good recovery. They're still slightly red on the day, only 1/3 down there, guys, and then consumer discretionary down 0.4. And then we have the energy sector down about 1.4%. And with that being said, let's pull up XLE and see what we got going on for the energy sector here, guys. It's just, I look at it time and time again. I'm like, is this going to be the time?
Boom, Joseph.
Let's go. Okay, I'm going to send to you. I want to see your trade, what you got going on there, guys. So yeah, XLE not good. I want to see it from a daily standpoint. And if you ask me, this is just stuff, this is just like a sector I don't necessarily want to be involved in. For me, this isn't what I'm looking for. I don't want to have to sit through these ebbs and flows of the energy sector. Is it going to break out? Is it not? And you can just see through multiple tests. I would like to zoom out some more here. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time on that front. So we'll go to a weekly and see what we got going on. Like, no, thank you. That's just me personally. I'm going to stick to what's hot, and that's the tech sector. I think we're in a good spot. And you know I like what we got coming from the likes of AMD, $10 billion on that front, and then Nvidia striking multiple deals as well, too. So that's what I'm going to stick to. For
you mean you don't like the charts on Moderna and Pfizer?
No, not
those are great.
Those aren't attractive.
Bro. No, nobody go long on that.
I mean,
really
PFE.
joking, by the way. Show them, Joe. Show them. Excellent
PFE.
looking chart. Fantastic.
So like, what are we trading at? Roughly right, $22. I mean, we're going back a decade. We're still trading at that.
Can I tell you, bro?
At those.
Hey, Joseph, there was a running gag like on the pharmacy floor that Pfizer was always like anything that this company threw into the clinical trials killed. It's almost the opposite now. Anything they throw in clinical trials is absolute hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
And they've been trying it for a GLP-1 drug.
Yeah.
0 for 3.
No way.
0 for 3. They can't get it right. Everybody else get it right except this company.
Except for these guys.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, I mean, like, this was the COVID run. I mean, you go from 33, like you double in price, but then after that, it's just, exactly, because they had the vaccine, right? They were one of the front runners on there. But after that, see you later, AC Slater, as we like to say, on that one there to PFE, a space that I would not be looking to get involved there.
All right, Adara throwing there, Elon making a pre-filmed cameo at the Microsoft event. They're playing an interview between Elon and Satya Nadella, Grok being launched on Azure. Oh, big announcement there. That's big, man. I mean, I don't know where they were. I think wasn't he doing his own data center out in Tennessee or Nebraska or wherever he bought that old UPS. Okay, where's FedEx at? Isn't it? It's like Nebraska or Tennessee because he bought an old FedEx plant, put a zillion Nvidia GPUs in there, and strung them. Remember I told you 100,000 to get it?
And then he had to go out there.
Yeah, where's it at?
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, the main one there. Anyway, it's somewhere in the Midwest, in the southern Midwest. But Memphis, thank you guys. Memphis. Yes. Thank you, Casey France. I appreciate that. So yeah, here it is, guys. We're just gonna show you a quick look. Our friend Elon is talking right now. This is pre-recorded, as Adara told us, at the Microsoft Developer Conference 2025. Elon Musk's Grok AI going to use Azure as their cloud-based provider. So, I mean, that's good news, obviously, for Azure. No question about it when you're getting Grok AI as a user there. Now, Grok AI was in the news this weekend. Not so good. I don't really want to get into it because it gets into like some racial stuff.
Oh,
but
really?
The point is, it's being accused of being filtered to suit current.
Kind of.
Yeah. You guys can do your own homework there. I'm not going to really go on to it any more than that, but it's in focus right now.
Okay, guys. Sorry, Sharif. I don't mean to interrupt you there, brother.
No, do your thing,
I kind of like what Tesla's doing here. I like this breakout. I want to get aggressive and add. I want to see this volume step in. We are okay. There we did. I just did it anyways. Added a little bit to the position here, guys. You can see we're pushing to break through this trend. But one thing that I need in this confirmation for the breakout is, guys, we need that volume to step in. If it does not step in, then the chances and the likelihood of the breakout being continued start to dwindle, and that's not necessarily what we want to see. But a big time curl over here in Tesla. I just added to TSLA. Let's see if we can get this move. We're moving. We're now on the backside of that trend. I want to wait for this continuation. We have now added. I think this could be a potentially good spot to add. Let's see if Tesla can continue to climb there. Sorry, Sharif. Continue.
No worries, man. All right, Andre, ready? Okay, no worries. So, quick question here. Mass Seg T. I don't know what your name stands for. Hello, Sharif and Joseph. Sheriff, please, I have a sale. I don't know what that means. I have a sale on NASDAQ futures, a sell order, I'm assuming. Okay, fine. I have a sell order on NASDAQ futures. Do you think if I keep it, it is going down later on because I'm in losses? I have about 3 lots with leverage of about 200. Masood, shout out to Masood. Look, brother, hard to say with the futures because it's, Donald Trump's world right now, and he moves the markets seemingly at will. But let's do a little bit technical analysis. What I want from you, brother, though, is to tell me you have a sell order. So you're looking for this one to continue to go up, or are you short? I'm going to wait to analyze this until you tag me again. Are you long? What price are you long from? Where is your planned stop, and what's your profit taker? Just give me those a few things, and I don't mind answering the question for you. But right now, Joseph, we're going to have to do this. All right. Easy Trading Computers. Have you ever entered an order to buy or sell, and the price you got filled at is completely different from what you expected? Guys, that's called slippage. Slippage happens when you're trading on an old or an underpowered computer, and it costs the trader a bundle. So that's why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. This guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed as a trader and to avoid that pesky slippage. So go ahead and scan that QR code or click the link in the description box to get a free copy of this guide. Shout us great folks there at Easy Trading Computers. Adara has something for us.
I have a couple things for you guys. For one, a Russian news source, IFX, is reporting that apparently the call between Vladimir Putin of Russia and Donald Trump, of course, president of the U.S., has completed. Apparently, Putin saying that his call with Trump was very meaningful and, quote, very, very informative and helpful. So, yeah, just coming through here, it's worth noting this call lasted over 2 hours and is now ended. I just wanted to let you guys know, give you guys an update. Also, keep an eye on Meta here, META. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, giving this keynote, which, according to the company's agenda for the event, is set to end around 2 p.m. So we got at least another hour of Satya. And it is worth noting, he just said that he spoke to Mark Zuckerberg, as he called him Mark, of course, the CEO of Meta, saying that apparently Mark is ready to unleash, quote, a whole herd of llamas. So Llama also on watch here with their, of course, Meta's AI model here. Keep an eye on Meta and Microsoft and any AI-related play. We've got both this Microsoft Developers event and also this Computex event this week. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a great look right now by our friend Satya, who's on the stage talking about agentic AI, Adara. And we know how in vogue agentic AI has been. I think a lot of people were predicting that may be the biggest use case for AI in 2025, obviously not ever, but that's where we were going to make a lot of progress this year. He's talking about a whole repository
of these agentic AIs or agents, so to speak, that you're going to be able to access on Azure. Obviously, kind of just ending up the game. It's a fantastic look, man. I feel Microsoft was super quiet, and now they're just coming all guns a-blazing right now. You know, having stayed quiet for the majority of 24, Joseph, and they were obviously up to something. And, you know, a lot of us kind of were questioning, such as his methodology, especially with the distancing relationship between him and OpenAI, and you know, OpenAI being king, let's call it King S in the AI game, well, at least the LLM version of it, anyway. And how Microsoft was kind of going their separate ways. And I don't know, I felt it was a little bit of a risk, but clearly he, you know, company looks like they're in good shape.
I think they're in fantastic shape, Sharif, and the price of the stock most definitely reflects that.
There you go.
So yeah, I like that take. Being quiet and then just coming out with some solid beats around, obviously on the earnings report, and that's what we want to see. And now it's reflected in the stock price here, guys. So down 2% off of those all-time highs. Let's go Tesla. Lewis, I know you're in this as well. The thing is, we need that volume to really step in here in order for us to continue to climb and sit on the backside of this trend. I have now added into this position. So if we crack VWAP, I have to get out of this trade. Again, I'm just about just under a full risk here now. So still going light, holding on to some of the realized gains that I have, and looking for just to put on some more size, just to kind of build up that kind of profit curve there, guys. And that's what I was referring to. Oh, do we have something there?
Yeah, I just want to cover
for sure.
Masood. He wants to know about, so he responded. So he said as follows, thank you, you read my message. He's short at 21,287. So what I've done is I put that thick white line there where he's short. And then basically he wants to know, are we going to come back down? Well, it's impossible for me to know, obviously, whether we're going to come back down. This line, though, when we look at the 5, kind of looks like a line of best fit. But when you zoom out, Masood, that's where kind of it gets a little bit tricky, okay? And the reason I say that is because we're on an uptrend. I'm sure you've seen what's been happening lately. I see plenty of resistance at 22,500. Obviously, that's all-time high, that general area where we got to in early December. And then again, in February, 22,500. Yeah, 22,500. We got into 600, obviously, in December, but let's just go with the 500 area. Hard to know, Masood. Hard to know whether we come back down into that area. Look, the trend is what it is. It's higher highs and higher lows. So if you're asking me, does it come back down? We're going to need a news catalyst. Otherwise, we're almost break even now on the day. To go break even, you just got to get up to 21,500. And then that basically, with that 21,500, we're 1,000 points off all-time highs, or 1,100 points off all-time highs. So the short here, I personally would have been waiting for that all-time high, that 22,000, either 22,500 to come in to get short, only just because that is all-time highs and encountering some resistance. I personally wouldn't have gotten short here at 21,287, but you are short from there. Here's what the chart looks. So we got to basically break trend and come back down, lose it, go negative on the day, with the low being basically 21,112. I would go with the trend. I like to pretend like I'm a trend trader, so I don't. Maybe anything can happen. Masood, it's just it's impossible to know. It's impossible to know. But if you're asking intraday, this obviously it's a big move up at the open there at 9:30, and then we've been putting in higher highs and higher lows all day, okay? Looking to get back into Friday's close, which is, again, 21,500-ish area. Let me know how it goes. I'm sorry I couldn't help more than that, but yeah, it's hard to discern trend when you're going against the trend. That's the thing. Like, there's just you need a catalyst. All right, let's have a look at PTIX, because this one's still in play. So despite the fact that it's up 330% and had a bit of trouble with 13, every single print has held up at the 10 EMA. I mean, like every single one. It's got higher lows, possible flat top break through 1350. So let's get long here again, and we're going to build a position into the 10 EMA, which goes all the way down into 12 2/3. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a position into that 12 2/3 area. We'll look for some money fills a little bit under 13. And that's what I'm doing there. Joseph, what are you doing?
Yeah, this is great stuff here, guys. Bitcoin's still putting in a new high day. We're sitting on the backside of this trend on Tesla. If we can pull up on my chart here, guys. So we had a trade earlier on the day, and we're just playing an additional breakout here. So you've seen that one work out really well for us. On TSLA, nice breakout here, and then we're just looking for another one for this continuation. I'm talking to Lewis in the chat. No, don't ever go along those lines, Lewis. Don't ever say that, because as soon as you do, it's going to become disastrous if you have that form of mentality. I've been there, and I will never go there again. So I mean, I know you're only joking, but yeah, it's just something that I personally. If you think that, unfortunately, you got some rude awakening coming up for you. But I know he knows what he's doing, so I'm not referring to him, just in general. I think that's one of the big things about trading is new traders don't understand how much you have to lose in order to start winning in this game. So let's go Tesla. We're in it for a second time here, guys, looking for the continuation of that breakout. I mentioned I was in. We held this trend line. As soon as we broke through some key resistance zones, I add to this position. And if volume decides that it wants to step in, then we're going to start catching some nice moves here on TSLA. Look at the strength in the tape. And this is exactly what we want to see. Let's go, Lewis. Another big breakout on Tesla. If we can head toward that high day, this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful trade. Another big pop. We're going to start to trim some. Let's go. Another breakout on Tesla here, guys. Love seeing this. I got to manage this position, Sharif. Give me a second here as I place a couple orders. Oh, let's go. A big pop. Here we are. Never mind the order, Sharif. Sorry. That volume is definitely starting to kick in here. Lewis, this is what we need. This is exactly what we want to see. That volume started to kick in as we punch through some key resistance zones. Now on the 1 minute time frame, we start to stair step. I want to see this this volume spike get larger than this one. How many seconds? We still have 30 seconds left in this specific print. Let's see if we can continue to climb here in Tesla, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the Q's just put in a new high day as well too, and so did SPY, guys. So there you go. Extremely strong market. Moody's, I don't know.
All right, Epic Strategy is saying QBTS.
No, don't bring it up.
Okay, I won't.
Oh, no.
This is not QBTS, guys. It's not. Just don't look at the ticker.
Oh,
it's not. Sorry, bro. Thank you, Adara. I do appreciate that. Yeah, well, everyone, she's advocating for everybody to get it, guys. So everybody get it. All right, here it is. QBTS. Don't look, Joseph.
Okay.
We're putting in higher highs and higher lows, though, on a multiple day time frame. Today, we're still positive about to the tune of a little bit less than 5%, 4.82%. Not a bad look. We are having some trouble, yes, with that pesky volume-weighted average price currently hanging out at 12 mid-80s on 1284, 1285. We did lose VWAP. We hung out at VWAP for a little bit. You can kind of tell between 1125 and that 12 o'clock candle, but then we broke down, losing that level decidedly, holding on to that 12.5. And here we go again, trying to break through VWAP. We'll have to see which way this cookie crumbles, but we are at a I don't want to say a critical resistance level. Nothing's critical about VWAP, but it is one to look out for. So if we do reject that area, then you could be possibly looking for another lower high and lower low for a downtrend. Now, this one did close out at $12.25 out on Friday. So if we do lose the bid, look for a possible hold on Friday's closing print at $12.25. Let me know how it goes. Not one that I've traded on the day today.
I was gonna say pull up the daily on it quick.
Yeah,
That's what, yeah. That's why I decided to trade it this morning. Sharif, specifically
higher
from
highs and higher lows.
Exactly,
Joseph, that's what it is.
And you can see it crack through. It broke through those resistance zones, and just looking for the continuation.
He's talking about these ones over here.
Yeah, and then
that we had put in previously.
And there we go. And then we punch through today as we sit on top of that range.
It's a fantastic look, man. I mean, like, look, QBTS, QUBT, a lot of the quantum names. I don't want to homogenize all of them, but lately, anyway, they've been running together. And who ends up being the winner out of the pick? I don't know. I was talking to a guy.
It's still too early to tell, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So 1 second, Adara. So there was a friend of mine. He just came back. He's doing a PhD now in cybersecurity, in computer science,
really?
cybersecurity. Yeah. So he came back to the gym. He's working at the gym part-time while he studies. And so I was talking to him. I was talking to him like, hey, you know, quantum, what's a look for with quantum and cybersecurity? He's like, and then he gave me kind of a spiel. And he gave me like a I'm financially invested, so I have a bias kind of spiel. No, he gave me, I'm studying this and I don't care which way it goes. This is the honest. He's like, look, you're not going to get quantum breakthrough, he feels, until 10 years, and then you could have a real issue with some of the passwords, two-factor authentication, everything like that.
There you go. So
sorry to keep you waiting.
Jensen, 10 years too, so here you go. Adara.
Keep an eye on Coinbase here, COIN. You know, last week was quite the week for Coinbase. As of today, it is a newly minted member of the S&P 500. It also had some concerns here of a potential investigation, but now it's on watch here with this article from Fortune. They're basically saying that Circle, which was a stablecoin issuer set to apparently IPO soon, now they're saying that Circle is considering selling itself to Coinbase. So quite different. We're going from Circle, as of about a month ago, getting ready for its IPO, now, according to Fortune, apparently taking part in, quote, informal talks to sell itself to COIN. Back to you.
There, let's go street. Bitcoin now at $105,600.
I liked it better yesterday when it was 109.
Yeah.
107.
I honestly didn't look. I didn't look at it throughout the whole day, and then I just seen the kind of the wicks that it did. I'm like, oh, nice. And then I seen it also sold off some. But I did like the display of strength, right, for that momentum to go through those all-time high breaks. Speaking of breaks, here we go. Let's go Tesla. Let's go Lewis. We're catching another move on this name. There we go. A new high on TSLA. We're gonna take a little bit more off here, guys. Oops. There we go. We caught that fill there. Nothing much. I still have 50% of my position. Let's see if we can hold this for that higher day. That would be a monstrous move. But you can see on the 5-minute time frame, the trades we took on this earlier, a break of this consolidation phase here through some key resistance zones. Enter that trade, and then we just slowly partial out. Add to the position once again. Didn't get that move. It came back to the volume weighted average price. Patience was the name of this game. We wait for it to curl back over, using that elastic effect of VWAP, and then now we're on the backside of this trend. That gives us the opportunity to add into the position, and now we're climbing here in Tesla. So a really good look. Let's go. Whoever's involved in this name, the higher day is definitely that target, especially the way this market is moving. It is insane, and I love seeing it.
All right, guys. PTX halted down. I went long the halt. Okay? I like this level. Now I'm going to do what I need to do, guys. I saw support at 11.5. We rejected 11.5 over and over and over and over until we decidedly took it out at 12.05. We have been dancing with that 11.5 from 11 till 12.05. So an hour worth of resistance at this level. So I said, look, we're coming in right into that same level, and it's going to be the halt level. So I punched long at 11.5. Now I'm 2 pennies out of the money. The tap is showing me 11.45. I'm long 11.47. We'll see which way the cookie crumbles here. Anything below that, I'm gonna give it to 1080s. Okay. So it's gonna have to hold that 1080s. Only reason I give it that much is because I know at the open of the halt, it gets crazy. As all the market on open orders come in, it zigs and zags, top, bottom, and then it settles the hell down after two or 3 seconds. So we'll see. We'll have to see how this goes. It likely will be, I don't know, it's impossible to say, a 5-minute halt. It hasn't been halting all that much, so hopefully it is a 5-minute halt. We'll have to wait and see. Currently, it did halt at 12:58.56. So the current time is 1:01 exactly, okay? So this one will open up at 1:03.58, so a couple of 56, excuse me. So about 4 seconds before that 1:04, okay? So we'll keep an eye out on that, and we'll see which way this one ends up going. So I'm long at that 11:47 where it halted down, and it's showing me a tap now of 11:44. So we'll have to wait and see if this one ends up moving back up or back down. We're gonna have to, it's obviously a risk with this one to do that, but I did like that 11.5, hence why I did it. So we're going to keep an eye out on that one. QMCO's been doing nothing
for the better part of now, I want to say over an hour. It was very volatile to start, but since that 12:15 time slot, when it got into the volume weighted average price, it's been insanely consolidative with no real discernible trend of lower lows or lower highs. It has been very respectful of that volume weighted average price, which is currently trading at around 13.27. Let's weasel into this one over here, and we're going to give it to, and we'll give it to about 13.10 or so. So that's what we'll do. And then we'll give it some room there for that. So we did get long at 30s. Let's see if we can take out some profits there within the range. Not really looking at making a whole bunch of money on this one, just looking to trade the range if it does allow me. What's going on over there, Joseph?
Let's go, Sharif. Yeah, we're getting the breakout here on Tesla, guys. We'll take some more off here at the highs. There we go. We caught that fill. You can see the strength within the tape. This is exactly what we want to see, man. The Qs are absolutely gone parabolic here as well, too. You can see that we've now gained all of that ground that we lost in the post market on Friday and kind of the sideways price action that we've seen earlier in the session. We have now broke through some of these key resistance. Actually, this is going to be a key resistance zone right here. So this would be Thursday's high there, guys. And you can see it came into play multiple times. So let's see if we can break through that, or we're going to just reject it aggressively. With that being said, let's pull up the options chain to see what the options market is telling us. And if 522 has some size, then maybe we can see somewhat of a pullback here. So I'm going to pull up the Qs, and if we have high levels of open interest on this week's expiration cycle, maybe look for it. And if it's not that, if that wall isn't there, then look for the continuation as well too there, folks. So let's see what we're going on. What is the end of this week? All right. So 522, there is nothing there. 523, not much. 525 is when we start to run in any form of size there, and that is only 5,000 open contracts. So there may be some more topside. If we want to refer to put walls, Sharif, we have to go all the way down to 515, and we have 7,000 open contracts right there. But right now it's looking extremely bullish. Whoever's on those 520 strikes, on the opposite end of those, you are now in the money, and you don't want to be on that side if you're short those calls, because we do have 9,000 at 520, but those individuals who are on the backside of it are now offside. And here you can see the market is starting to squeeze. A big bull flag right here, and now running into some previous highs, Friday's high, Thursday's high right there, and we're punching through with that momentum. Let's see if Tesla's going to continue to climb. We'll get back into this trade. We're in this one. Let's go Tesla, and let's go all of these big names. AMD curling over as well too. Nvidia heading back towards that high of the day. Bitcoin, it says see you later to everyone else. They're on their own. They're at 59.97. Yes, says my guy Katina, man.
Get it, Katina,
I haven't
man.
hit that. I mean, we're all relatively happy. I told Sharif I accept any form of payment. So am I speaking too soon?
I'm bringing my pennies, bro. Don't say that.
I told you.
Because you're adding an addendum to the card, and I will exploit that addendum, bro.
Hey, brother.
I will bring in pennies, Joseph. Do not test me, bro.
Hey, brother.
I have so many.
Bring me the pennies, brother. I told you I accept any form of payment. It does not matter. I will walk to the bank with a big smile on my face.
You got to go to the Bank of Canada.
Yeah.
The banks don't take the pennies, Joseph. You got to mosey on down to Ottawa.
I'll find somebody. I'll find somebody to take the pennies, and I'll say it with a smile on my face because my friend gave me this because I made a bet and I won. Breaking news here in the market, guys. The market's going parabolic. We're going to take some more off here on TSLA. Let's see what Adara's got for us.
Here for Microsoft, Satya Nadella, CEO, announcing their Microsoft AI Foundry. Still announcing some details, but Foundry news always of interest here. MSFT at day's high, still trying to break out of that bull flag, sorry. Also near day's highs is UNH. That's right, United Health continuing to recover from its weakness in last week. It had a nice move up on Friday, and today doing the same, struggling with 316, but nicely above this 315 level right now for United Health. Back to you.
Shit that Adara. Joseph,
Yes,
the market giveth.
in the market.
And the market taketh away. Skull.
What do you
I
say?
appreciate you, my man.
do you
He
say?
was like, bro, PTX tanking. I mean, it's reasonable. It halted down.
Oh.
Panic set in. I mean, I get that.
Okay, there goes Tesla.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, 1 second. We'll get right back into what you got going on, guys. Oh, wow, Tesla. Let's go. We got rejected there. That volume stepping in. Luis Martinez, I know you're involved in this. Yeah, I know he's involved in this. Big time breakout. I don't have much left, guys. Less than 10% of this position. Continuing to climb. Beautiful move here in Tesla. We were patient. We added to the position and just using some of our realized gains to keep us in this game and put on these trade streaks. But what were you saying?
Technical analysis doesn't work. Former support or former resistance doesn't become support.
Whose idea was that?
Crazy people.
Whose idea was that?
All right, guys, there's a halt level down that we talked about. Got long at the halt level, and then we scalped up nicely for almost 75 penny winner there. Very close to being $1. Alas, it's not $1. So the dollar club cannot be hit.
Kalua, where you been?
Sorry, I know, bro. Let me show yourself, Kalua.
What?
I know, man. We've been missing all the alcohol references up in this place. You know what I mean? No, seriously though. So that was the level, the halt level that we talked about, that 11.5. That's why we punched long there, and there it goes right back to the high side of last. It does have a topping till candle into 1280, which it is losing. So if you were to use that 1280 area top, that is yet another lower high, and most notably a rejection of 13. So I don't touch this again until it decisively takes out 13 and then shows its intention vis-a-vis the tape and the aggression of the move up that is going to take out that high day, which is 1350. So I'm not going to get involved in this one until it does such a look, okay? Because it again bounced off 11.5 for now, but it's still putting in lower highs. The one that I see that might be awakening here is your friend QMCO. And we punched long there to play the range. It didn't take me that long at all to get the hell out of this trade. I layered my orders 15 pennies apart and they all filled. But it looks like a bad trade because it ended up taking out that range. Prior to that, the range had been essentially 1320 to the low side and 1360 to the high side. It wicked up all the way into 69. It's below it now. But if this one, QMCO I'm talking about, starts waking up again and showing me that higher low, higher high pattern, we're going to get involved with this one for a move up. So QMCO looking good. So is PTIX, but you feel that PTIX might be getting a little bit top heavy. And the only reason I say that because it really is having trouble taking out those area highs. And even if it doesn't print like 1350 and above, it's still having trouble with the previous candle. It always seems to be a little bit lower and lower high, lower low versus the prior candle. So be on the lookout for that. Also, one that I started out, I think 0 for 1 on, TNGX. Yeah, I did take a trade on this one. We're 0 for 1 on it. This one reclaimed VWAP after breaking down for whatever reason and is now putting in that consistently higher high, higher low pattern. This one looks like a sleeper. So we're going to get involved with this one. And we're going to try to weasel our way to some profits on this monster. What'd you get over there, Katina Man? The Katina Man brought food, bro.
Yeah, well, you didn't see what they were crushing over there?
Who?
The Burger Priest. No.
Oh, yeah, Burger Priest? Yeah. Burger. I eat burgers all the time.
This guy. Oh, let's go. Oh, never mind. I thought I caught another fill. I eat burgers all the time. This guy. I love burgers.
I eat healthy burgers. Ooh. Quinoa, Katina Man.
What is this,
Quinoa,
dry ramen
rice.
there?
It looks like some tuna in that bad boy. Tuna.
What is that, ramen there?
That looks like ramen. Katina, that's going to be crunchy, though.
You never did that as a kid? Take the Mr. Noodles and then,
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
I was like
man.
8.
Yeah, man, come on. Those were good times. When you just had that. I didn't like the beef one. I was always chicken. Chicken at all times for
the best ones,
crushing
bro.
it. Yeah, easily.
Do you get creative? Do you add your own spices onto the ramen, the Mr. Noodles?
No, I never got that far. No, yeah.
That's where I get creative.
To be honest,
can I give you a piece of advice?
Yeah.
So the Kelsey's, what's it called? The steak seasoning.
Yeah.
If you throw that steak
Kelsey's
seasoning or that chicken
in
seasoning,
there?
the Kelsey's one. Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
I get that from Costco. Your boy gets it from Costco. Super cheap, obviously. One of my favorite stores.
Selena
getting hungry.
Yeah. Selena made some fire mango salsa the other night too.
Oh yeah?
Oh, so
mango salsa.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's pause.
Yeah, let's pause.
Okay, so was there meat? Was there any meat with the salsa?
Yeah.
And there was mango.
Yeah, but no, not in the salsa. Like this is just a vegetable and our food salsa. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oof.
And then you add it to. I ate it with a sausage, and some jerk chicken too. So fire.
It's Adara's favorite food.
Yeah. Right? Let's go, Adara.
Adara, we're teasing you. We said jerk chicken's your favorite food. Everyone knows that's not the case, Adara, so people get it.
I cannot eat it.
We can convert that.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. I think Dara's going to be permanently averse to spicy food.
Hey, never say never.
She's really tried, but it just doesn't, it's not her cup of tea.
It's just palate expansion. That's all.
Palate expansion? Yeah. My man, she's trying to preserve her palate there, bro.
We gotta expand.
Excuse me.
Sometimes you need to take a couple
I'm
steps.
sorry, I have to use the button at this point, Joe. I have tried many a time to eat a spicy food. Just yesterday, I had a spicy gar parm wing, and it actually went okay. But I have tried many times with jerk chicken. I am unable to do it. It is not a choice. It is a physical, biological reaction that happens when I come near the
shut the door in your face now.
That is it. That is
Shut the door in his face, Adara. There it is.
Oh,
there
no.
it is. There it is.
No, Dara, how could you do me like that? My fellow film friend, just like that.
Yo, Neil's coming in hot, bro.
Neil, wow.
Neil
like
got upset.
that, man.
Get him, Neil.
Biological reaction. No, give heat a chance. You've got to give the heat a chance and build up that tolerance. That's what's up. I love you, Adara. But in this particular case, anybody, and I'm talking about, look, jerk chicken is an all-inclusive, and we're not excluding anybody.
What?
All right? You can just build into it first a little bit of light seasoning. If you need a little bit of yogurt or something on the side to help the stomach get through it, you got to make it happen. It's like anything in life. You've just got to work for it. And you know what? It's worth it. Especially because what's going to happen? You build up that tolerance, and then one day you're going to go on vacation. And you're going to find yourself out in Ochi or anywhere. It doesn't matter. And there's going to be a dude on the side of the street. He's going to have that barrel going, and you're going to see that good jerk chicken. And you're like, I'm so glad that I built up this resistance so that I can have some of the tastiest chicken off the side of a street that I've had in my whole life.
Adara.
Thus endeth the rant.
So much happened there. So much happened there.
Listen, my guy coming to the defense. But I got you, Adara, too. We can build up a we can build that tolerance up slowly, but I mean, nothing
displeased.
Nothing matters except for what we got going on in Tesla right now. Let's go Tesla. As it continues to break out, Luis Martinez, my guy, shout out to him. We take some more off here on Tesla as we're continuing to climb higher. This is what we want to see. Still slightly negative on the day, but it is what it is. It ain't a thing but a jerk chicken wing out here, Sharif.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as Neil reminded us, guys,
You gotta build that tolerance up. To be honest with you, we can get jerk on the side of the street that's not spicy. Like I've had jerk chicken in Jamaica that is not spicy at all. So.
street meat, Toronto street meat, yes or no?
2010 Toronto street meat. Before. Now it's not as good. Yeah, they don't take as much pride in
100% agreed with that. 1,000% agreed with that. I don't know. I think the quality of the meat, certainly.
But it's like you go there, the egg bun is fire, but they're not cooking enough. I like a little char on it and stuff like that, some quality barbecue.
I know we're from different areas. I know you're downtown cat.
Yeah.
But if you ever find your way into Uptown. Korea.
I'll check in first with you.
Yeah, well, definitely. Don't check if you can, obviously, because you're in the area and you're my boy. But no, seriously, though, if you're ever in Koreatown, which is like Yonge and Finch area, dude, there is a guy. He's got a street meat shop right in front of the shoppers, literally at Yonge and Finch.
Right
literally.
there.
So it's impossible to miss, okay? Fire, Joseph. And he's for all the offices in the area, well-known dude, all Korean food, street meat. So street Korean food and ridiculous. Tesla's breaking out, bro.
Let's go. Pull up Tesla,
that
guys.
Elon pre-recording, Joseph,
Elon, they set us up for success here, guys. I don't have much left. I only got 10%. I'm going to take 5% off right there. Are you in this, Katina Man?
The Katina Man, I don't know.
Long Tesla?
He just got more short. The Katina Man's, he's thinking that
bigly short.
Back,
This is what we're in, guys. Man, so full disclosure, bear market struggled with. Most definitely bullish. We get that bullish sentiment. You've seen these trades that we've been putting on here, and they've been absolute bangers. We talked about the volume having to step in on those higher time frames in order for this move to be sustained. Excuse me, guys. So we have now moved. We sat on the backside of this trend. How many of these trades have we put in where we've sat on the backside? Look at them all here. Look, they're still displayed on this trade, and we took every single one. The same pattern has been reoccurring on multiple occasions here, guys. Look at today. Boom. This was Friday, Sharif. This was Thursday. There was another one on Wednesday. Guess what? We caught this one on Tuesday or Monday, whatever it may be. It's the same pattern happening time and time again here on Tesla. Marcus Steven Johnson, I can't slow down, my guy. When I'm putting on stuff like this, how could you ever slow down? And don't stop. Ride like lightning. You may crash like thunder, but I'll wait until that day comes because I'm most definitely going to get excited about this. I don't need to take a breath. I don't need to cool down because we are putting on these trades, and I am more than happy to do so. I'd mentioned before, if we score, we're going to celebrate. If we lose, we're going to tell you about it as well too. And there it is in Tesla.
Bang, man, bang. All right, shout out Jedi, 500 Dominican pesos.
Let's go.
The dude's dropping cash in the chat. Appreciate that, my man Jedi. I'm the chip giant that powers AI's might. Quarterly numbers that shine so bright. Yeah, Dara. Revenue climbs, profits in sight. What report am I that fuels the fight? You are Microsoft. I don't know. Everybody's talking about AI. You're talking about a chip giant. I am the chip giant that powers AI's might. So you're Nvidia. Quarterly numbers that shine so bright. Revenue that climbs, profits in sight. I think Nvidia's profitable. How is it not profitable? It wouldn't be in the S&P if it wasn't profitable. Remember that? Remember that? Yeah. What report am I that fuels the fight? No, Adara, for sure they're profitable. I reported on their quarterly earnings last time. Yeah, I don't know, Jedi, who are you talking about, bro? And he's talking about Nvidia. See, he's saying Nvidia, but brother, they are profitable. Let's, he said Nvidia. But that makes sense, because CoreWeave's never going to be profitable, bro. All right, let's find out what Nvidia's profits were last quarter. I have to ask my midday queries, because I don't like to overlap with my other queries there, Joseph.
Yeah, we don't.
All right, let's do it live here so that everybody can follow along. There's chat. This is the paid version of chat, by the way. What were Nvidia's quarterly profits last quarter? Double check your work, please. And thank you. Neil, it made me look bad last time, man. Adara had to correct us when it gave me the incorrect NASDAQ all-time high, I think. Not all-time high, but biggest move on the day. What do we got here? Come on, chat, let's go. So they made 14.88 billion in net income. That's a 628% increase to the same quarter the previous year. That is, guys, for the first quarter of fiscal 2025, which ending April 28, 2024. So that's a long time ago. I'm gonna have to look at my notes because I don't trust this thing. I know what they are. I can go back to my notes because I save all of them on the cloud. So I'll go back and check that once Joseph takes over. But I know for a fact that they are printing money. Again, guys, they wouldn't be part of the S&P 500 if they weren't profitable. There's all these requirements that you have to be profitable in the current quarter as well as like 4 or 5 straight quarters, as we talked about there when Adara, who just got added to the S&P?
Our friends at Coinbase.
Thank you, Adara. And they had to actually be profitable for those quarters, so we had to look at that. 5 straight quarters, Katina Man confirming it. Thank you, Katina Man. Thank you, Katina. Yeah, so that's the look there, guys. So I'm 99.99% certain that they printed a profit last time, but I will double check that once Joseph takes over. Anyway, involved in TNGX, got a beak wetter there at 90, setting up next at 93. Did get up to 93, but it didn't cross. So looking for a curl up here on TNGX. It did lose VWAP momentarily at 12 o'clock, but since that time, it's been a plethora of higher highs and higher lows. High a day, 196. We just printed 193, so getting awfully close to that level. QMCO continues to range sideways, but that's more good news than bad for me. Quite frankly, QMCO is putting in higher lows and higher highs. So QMCO does look like it may be just catching its breath, like that guy was telling Joseph to do for whatever reason, even though he's printed up a storm, and maybe looking to go in a little bit. Now, sometimes we wait until power hour around 3, sometimes later, earlier at 2:30, but these ones tend to take a break. Anyway, when it does this, when it has a big move up and then straddles VWAP for during the slower time day. I call this trade the VWAP hold high of daybreak, okay? And the reason I say that is it's straddling VWAP from the top side for a reason. There's people buying it at VWAP, so it holds that level, then the volume and the action comes back in power hour. All of a sudden, you're breaking out again. It looks like it's doing that right now. Joseph, what do you got over there?
We got some Profitex here in sports playing. Flexibility is everything. At Profitex, you can see the order book just like a financial exchange. Pick your spot and customize the odds to fit your risk. Why settle for a single offered price when you can set your own? Plus, our own mobile interface makes it easy to play on the go. Profitex, where you call the shots anytime, anywhere. Users can use code TraderTV to get our sign-up offer of 2% cash back on up to 300 big ones. Let's go, Tesla. Microsoft here, guys. We're going to send it to Adara momentarily. She was talking about, right before we broke out, the CEO was talking, and then sure enough, here we go. We get that big-time breakout, and then we're also getting that move higher. Now on TSLA, guys, heading towards that high, the high a day. Now almost exceeding that there, folks. So a beautiful look here on Tesla. Man, what a monstrous, another pattern coming into play. Let's see what Adara's got for us.
Oh.
Keep an eye here, I guess, because we mentioned Nvidia and its profitability. Someone else profited or has been profiting from Nvidia. His name is Jensen Huang. This infographic is actually a little bit of a preview. I'm going to be away for next week, so we're going to get some pre-posted infographics coming out. This one we're going to get right before Nvidia earnings on May 28th after the bell. But here's Jensen Huang's net worth. And again, this one's not yet available on X. It's a little sneak preview here at TTV Research, so keep an eye on that account. We do post infographics and market updates every single day, and we will continue to do so, even if I'm not physically here. Back to you.
Those numbers are so insane. How do you, was that within the same year, Adara, that he went from $1 trillion to $3 trillion?
It starts in 2015. It ends in 2024. I went like 10 years.
Okay. No, from $1 trillion to $3 trillion. That was in the span of a year.
Over the course of 2 years.
Okay.
2023
2 years.
to 2024.
So even so, that is absolutely, those numbers are insane. I still love this company. I mentioned time and time again, I'll say it one more, is the fact that he's just striking big-time deals across the Gulf. Dan Ives says the AI boom is going now to these countries. And guess who's going to be at the forefront? That's an Nvidia. And this is exactly why I'm going to continue to like this stock for the foreseeable future. They have deals up until 2030. So, I mean, there's a lot of room for this stock to continue.
Sorry, just 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure, guys. We're still cooking up. I only have one out left here, guys. 5% of the position in Tesla. I'm going to hold it for the dream. We are at the high a day as well. So here it is, guys. You can see these two trades that we took on Tesla today. And someone said, Joe, you killed it. Actually, yeah. I mean, but see, that's the thing. So Marcus Steven Johnson, yeah, I appreciate that, brother. And you are right in some aspect, because I know it's like, okay, yeah, we're putting on these sick trades and everything, but there's also people who aren't having the best days, and you don't necessarily want to rub that in their face, and that's not what we're trying to do whatsoever. So much appreciated for your insight, brother, as always. I know you're a regular in the chat, so thank you for that. But yeah, Tesla working out really good. It looks like we just caught the whole trend today, guys, and we can't really complain about that. Even though on QBTS we had more size on that one, but yeah, Tesla was definitely the prettier picture here today. You can see we entered on the 5-minute time frame, holding some key levels. You had a consolidation phase and then a breakout, and then we slowly just partial it out there. And this is where I was looking for the break of the high a day. If the market was significantly, I shouldn't say significantly stronger, if there was more strength within Tesla, then I believe we would have got that move, but it took some time. It needed to absorb some liquidity, and here we go, still continuing to climb. As soon as I seen that elastic effect come into Tesla via the VWAP, I mention it all the time. You can see it if it's going to be a strong underlying. It usually doesn't give up too much ground south of the volume weighted average price. Once it snaps, you can see some more downside for sure, and then look for it as a resistance zone. But what I got going on here with Tesla, it's working really nice that the market is continuing to climb, and this is exactly what I would like to see here. So that's that. I only have one out left. I'll hold it for 1485s. Only 5% of the position, so I'll just hold this for the remainder of the show. Or if it hits 1485 first, we'll see which one comes. So if BTC makes a lower high here, I'm shorting SPY. What does BTC have to? I don't know if there's that heavy correlation with Bitcoin and SPY. I don't know if that's something I'd be looking for. So thoughts on Bury Nvidia short, says Esky. What does that mean on Bury Nvidia short? I'm not too sure, but I would not be shorting that name. I don't even know how you would look at its chart from an intraday standpoint and be like, yeah, I'm long-term bearish. Adair just displayed an infographic of how the stock literally tripled in price in a span of 2 years. So this is not a stock I'd be looking to short. And then you can see that we're up over 50% from those bottoms here, 55% to be exact. And we're still down about 12% off of those all-time highs, 11% to be exact. I'm not going to be looking to short this. Could there be some short-term downside? Absolutely. But for the long run and the immediate future, I'm long this name.
All right, here it is. Took me freaking forever to find the earnings report. Man, chat, like if you ask it specific, it hallucinates so much when it comes to time and years. It always tells me stuff with 24. I'm constantly having to remind it, it's 2025. Get your act together. So I hate that parts of that part of the hallucination with these LLMs. But here it is, Assassino. They're making a lot of money.
They're making a lot of money.
All right, guys, this is ridiculous. They printed, this is their last earnings report back in February 26th, okay? I reported on the 27th, as you can see there. Oh, you can't actually see it. And here it is, baby. 40 billion in revenue, Joseph, 39.33. What's their take-home money? More than 50 freaking percent.
The margins.
They took 22.1 billion in profit from 39.33 in revenue. What kind of insane margins are they running over there, man? They obviously, it was substantially up, doubling, almost doubling. 12.29 was the profit they printed in February quarter of 2024. The February quarter this year, as I mentioned, 22.09 billion. What an insane amount there. Obviously guiding for Q1 of 2025, 43. So that's what we're expecting. May 28th, guys, is when Nvidia is reporting. So obviously the 26th is a holiday, Memorial Day, shout out. Then the 27th is a Tuesday, so we get that on the Wednesday. It's going to be likely myself, one of the big kahunas, and Adara on the market recap shows. We'll be doing that Nvidia release party for certain. But that's what it is, man. $22.1 billion in take-home money, which is kind of ridiculous.
What do you think the guidance is going to look like? Because you know, there's going to be some issues with the H20, right? With the 4 billion.
The H20, they have to take a hit on that, but we already priced that in, Joseph. We already know how much you're going to take a hit. Yeah.
So now, are we pricing in the Saudi and the UAE deals?
I think the second the market has the information, at least if you believe technical analysis, it's discounted on the price. Right away, immediately.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Whether
fair,
or not that's true or not. Well,
but then, do you think that this is me, I'm going to tell you what, I think that the guide can add more topside, price in more.
100%.
Yeah, okay, exactly. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God,
right, the guide, exactly. So being forward-looking.
And especially with that, okay, so if we get more information, too, that the delays with the Blackwell subsiding, boom. If we get better information about the 300 that we're expecting next year, more boom. So obviously Jensen's, he's been making us happy lately, and
absolutely. And this is what you want. And you guys see me. So it's like Sharif and I, we joke a little bit. It's like, I'll flick the switch on somebody. But hey, it's a business, right? Like I'm buying a party, even though what I'm buying means essentially nothing. But it's like, hey, if I'm buying your business, I want you to perform in your business. And now you're seeing that displayed across the board. Elon's doing great things here now. I'm glad to see those robos starting to come out in Austin.
He's back on Elon now.
I'm back on Elon, man. Even though I'm out of the stock completely. So yeah, but it is what it is. We're intraday trading it. I have a good friend in Austin, and like Austin's a really big hub for obviously the EV place, and he works in that space. So I'm going to be talking to him about it and just kind of see what the general aspect is.
Definitely. Get his, they'll have like not insider information, but closer to home information about the robo-taxis that we were just talking about there. Katina, man, you weren't here when I was doing this, but now the Tesla Model Ys having the robo-taxi built in, spotted all over Austin, people taking pictures of them, people geolocating them on the map. look, I just want to see that it's in motion, brother. You know what I mean? Like, so much of the stock is priced in to this robo-taxi. It's nice to know that it's finally there. So,
yeah, it is.
And we saw this too with Waymo. Remember the dude who got stuck in the Waymo?
Yeah.
And he kept going in circles.
Yeah.
So I like to get that kind of like insider. I don't want to call it inside information because that's not what it is. But you know, behind the scenes stuff that
all these little bugs, because there's gonna be them, right? There's gonna be issues. It's not gonna be completely smooth sailing, in my opinion.
no.
So yeah, well, there's no doubt about it.
way.
As soon as they start going more obviously public with it, you'll see
100%.
kind of those crazy.
And he's been quite aggressive with the timeline, as he always is, Joseph.
Always aggressive.
Right? The philanthropist baker, Joey Jabs, Sharif. I like that, Joey
Jabs.
Jabs.
Yeah.
It was Joey Hooks, my guy.
Yeah.
Well, Joey straight right,
Joey
but whatever.
straight right.
Can you talk about CoreWeave? What's going on over there, Katina man? All right. Tesla short, the Katina man's printed. Can you talk about CoreWeave long term and what could be a good entry price long term? I think I'm going to reserve any comments about CoreWeave. I don't think their business model is sustainable until we see something different, but I'm nobody, right? So let Joseph tell you about it. I personally don't like the company. I think it's insanely CapEx heavy, and I don't know if it can be profitable on its own, just given the current setup. I lied. I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah,
$25 billion in CapEx, guys are making $5 billion in revenue. Okay, sure. It's year one of IPO. What's full year 26 show us? Well, they didn't guide full year 26. So I don't know what to think. And you know, if you're looking at CapEx remaining the same, because you got to keep upgrading these AI processors every year, well, things are going to get cheaper. It's $25 billion this year. It's $30 billion next year. Does your revenue increase though? Your revenue has to freaking increase, and by like 4 or 5-fold, because basically you're 4-fold more CapEx than revenue. So I personally think
the CoreWeave CEO just after the report did say they have some new big time clients though, Sharif, adding some hyperscalers to the client list.
I respect all that, Joseph. Of course, Microsoft just finished saying that they use CoreWeave as well.
Right.
I have no issue with that. But the numbers got to be the numbers,
they
bro.
got,
Where are the numbers at?
No, you're totally right. They got to be, they got to back kind of the stock price. I agree with you on that front.
It is. Fedora the Explorer, yes, they are the rent-a-server, so to speak. So if you don't want to ante up, buy all these H100s or B200s or GB200s or whatever you're buying over there, and you want to rent them, they're your go-to stop. I'm not disrespecting that business model at all. It makes eminent amount of sense, as proven by the $5 billion they're making in revenue on the year. It wouldn't be that case if nobody was using it. But where does profitability come in? That's my question.
Do you think it's a positive sign too that we see Elon is now renting Azure space as well? So that can be positive.
That kind of confuses me,
right? But that can be positive. You're seeing the likes of Elon doing this with Azure. Who's to say that that won't happen with CoreWeave? Right?
You're right, man. You're right. Is Trump speaking, Adara? Bill R says Trump speak. All right, we're going to Adara.
To speak at 3 p.m. He and First Lady Melania Trump are going to be taking part in apparently a bill signing event or ceremony. So that's supposed to happen at 3. Looks like he did share something on Truth Social, though. That I'm just seeing come out here. So I'm going to get the details on that truth for you. But it seems like it's about a ceasefire here, saying that Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations towards a ceasefire. Again, Donald Trump just posting about his call with Vladimir Putin of Russia, saying that Russia and the Ukraine will immediately start negotiations towards a ceasefire and, more importantly, end to the war, end in all caps. Apparently the negotiations are going to happen between the two parties because they know more details. This is a very long post, but he ends it with, and I quote, "Let the process begin." So Donald Trump here seemingly pretty optimistic here about a Ukraine-Russia ceasefire. He also said that apparently Ukraine can benefit from trade. So more trade on watch here as well. This is not spoken. It is a Truth Social post, though I'm sure journalists will ask him about it when he does make his next scheduled appearance, which, as I did allude to earlier, is set to be around 3 p.m. when he and Melania, his wife, and the First Lady will be attending this bill signing ceremony. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Very important, obviously, that we know what the hell Donald Trump is doing at all times.
At all times.
I need to know what he's doing at all times, right? Because he's single-handedly moving the market at will with a one-line truth. And look, barely anybody's on
You
truth.
did it twice, though. You said it twice. You said it's a good time to buy stock, and then reassured you that it's even a better time to. Yeah, did he say it again?
He said it
3 times now. There you go. Hit the
All right,
siren.
Joseph, we're doing it live here on your friend TNGX, who's now breaking out. We got in long at 86, went the peak at 90, 94, 98, and now it just took out 2 like it doesn't even matter. So TNGX at the high of the day, 202 right now, Joseph. What a look that is.
Ozan. Listen up, all right? New traders also listen up. First month free, that's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description there, guys. So there it is. That's my favorite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. No, but I talk about it. Obi and I were talking about it, and we talked about it before. Just the 3 pillars, in my opinion, to trading is trade book, psychology, and technology. And I think just getting started with that.
No question about it. No question about it.
Those are 3 key things.
Especially intraday trading, even swing trading. So nuanced now, you got to have tools,
You gotta
right?
have you gotta have the right tools.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that.
Right,
So if you guys, you're looking for a platform, your brokerage sucks, it doesn't give you all those kind of niceties and tools to help you do the filtering, check out eSignal, guys. They're a hell of a platform. The Katina men's been using them for over a decade. I've been using them for a few months. No? You told me you've been using it for a hot minute. Multiply that by 2. At least I thought it was like off
there,
in the short term. Multiply it by 2, baby. Tried 2 decades there. So clearly he's been using it for a long time. If he didn't like it, they wouldn't even be around for that long. You know, these things come in and out, and they may not be around.
I'm seeing
unless the good ones. Right?
Sharif, yeah, exactly. So you're not going to stick around if the quality isn't there for sure. Guys, I know a lot of people are referring to these wicks. I don't know if they're genuine moves here, guys. I'm pulling up coin right now. They're not. Yeah, exactly. They're not, exactly. So they're just misprints or dark pool prints on your platform, guys, as you can see displayed here. I don't have any of those. Katina Man's saying that. Sharif's confirming that as well, too, and I'm sure Neil can confirm that. Yeah, they're just dark pool or just misprints there, guys. So don't get too worried about that. I know they're happening in the likes of Tesla as well. So yeah, Tesla, we're not worried about that or anything. We'll know if something happens. The market will tank. You'll see that volume step in. So if you see any form of that, just keep an eye on your time of sales, what the tape is doing, and most definitely the volume, and that can help you decipher if that's going to be genuine or not.
All right, I see AGAE above him, but it's light on volume, brother. It's, what is this? It's 894,000, $2 name above him, and just started moving. Look, if the volume breaks out, tag me again, and we'll definitely have a look at that. I'm trying to work in here, build a position in QMCO. I perceive this one as being a VWAP hold. It's got a 3-candle red setup right now, breaking through the, I want to say the consolidation area top was around 1360. We're trying to move back above 60 now. You know how it kind of works. You know, when you have a consolidation area bottom or top, typically, and not always, the money fills are a little bit below or a little bit above that area support or resistance, depending on whether you're going long or short. So keeping an eye on this one, looking at building that position in. We're long at 71s. It's showing me 56, so we're out of the money right now, but definitely looking for that VWAP area to hold. So that's what I'm looking at. TNGX, we're done this trade. Where's it at? As it continues to go, man, TNGX now 205 high of the day. Every time I look back at this one, it's a little bit higher than it was. So fantastic look on the name. It's breaking out again. There it is, 206, 207.
Whoa.
TNGX is going, ladies and gentlemen, almost 40% here, Joseph, even though the volume is a little,
I like this though. Enter, add, stop out, AC, Slater,
well, you know
enter
what?
right back in.
I stopped out there, there, because I lost VWAP.
Yeah.
And I hate when they do that specialist breakdown only to push you right back
but you got right back in there. So
well, I got back in once it started showing me higher highs. Look at this, bro.
That's a good print to get in there too as well. You see that indecision.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have gone long there though, even though you're absolutely right. The only reason I don't go long there is because it's below VWAP.
It's
got to get above VWAP for me to get back.
Even so, you play the break of it relatively.
Not a bad look, not a bad look. Joseph, this one's continuing to go. Ideally, this comes back in and tests $2 as an area support. Whether it does or doesn't,
Who the hell knows? We'll keep an eye on it. I also want to tell you about a different one, ARQQ. I've said very little about this one, and that's probably a mistake because this one was insanely respectful of the volume weighted average price. It makes a high of the day at 22.72, comes back in, holds VWAP like a glove. And when I look at it a little bit further, it is less VWAP and more that 21. There was a buyer there at $21, essentially from 12 o'clock to when we got there last at 12.55. So for an hour, someone kept picking this up off 21. You never lost $21. That's a mistake by me. I should have been more alive to that because if it happened over and over like that, there was a good likelihood that we were going to put higher highs. And that's exactly what we're doing. Here we go. We're at $22 right now, about 72 pennies off the high. That's the good news. The bad news is you look at this, and it's a 20-penny spread on a $22 name, and it's only done about 1.8 million shares on the day, which is not saying much at 1:40 p.m. So that kind of gets me a little bit concerned that I don't really want to be getting involved with this one with such a wide spread and a low amount of volume. But ARQQ, a good move up nonetheless, a great technical support at $21 and about 72 pennies off the high. Joey Jabs, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Hey, let's go.
Thank you. He's over there, though. Why would I want to know that?
But, you know what my good friend Keanu Reeves said, though? You're a lover, you got to be a fighter. Because what kind of love would it be if you don't fight for it?
Oh!
Shout out Keanu Reeves.
I have a really interesting story to say here, but I don't want to go down that road.
Why? What happened?
It's just too much. It has nothing to do with anything bad like that. It's more.
I know. I probably already know the answer to this, but have you seen the movie Generation
No.
Yeah, it's probably like. So I was never the biggest Keanu Reeves fan, and I've seen this movie Generation and it just kind of added fuel to that fire. But I like Keanu. You know what I mean?
I don't mind Keanu.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Isn't he
Keanu.
Canadian?
He's Canadian too, man. So yeah.
And have you seen all the Rogers commercials with this guy now?
Yeah, what's up with that?
He's a poster boy for Rogers Communication.
Yeah, there you go.
Adara, have you seen any of the Keanu Reeves Rogers commercials?
No, I don't really watch TV, but shout out to Keanu, great Canadian, and pretty cool hair. I have a couple news headlines to talk about here. We're going to start with Nvidia because Satya Nadella, another pre-recorded phone call or video call with the Mag 7 CEO, this time with Nvidia's Jensen Huang, of course, the CEO. We just saw him on screen with that net worth infographic. Basically, they're just talking about CUDA being integrated here with Microsoft's Azure. So keep an eye on NVDA and MSFT. In case you missed it, MSFT is having their Build Developers Conference. That's been going on throughout the day, specifically with this keynote led by its CEO, Satya Nadella. Let's also talk here about the market in general because Neil Kashkari, currently speaking right now, of course, he is part of the Federal Reserve. And he's saying that coming into the year, economic conditions were good, but there's now big uncertainty in the economy. And he says he's not sure when the, quote, tariff landscape will settle out, but that businesses are holding pretty well amid uncertainty. He said generally, I think to summarize his comments, he said that it's wait and see until they get more info. So tariffs do seem to be a bit of a concern here still for Fed's Kashkari. Back to the Bash Brothers.
I imagine that's going to be a concern for going for a while until we're kind of the other side. They are all priced in, and they're stable. We got to get deals under our belt, obviously, for that to happen. So we'll wait as the time progresses, and we get more information on that. Guys, TNGX, as I was yelling to Neil, breaking out 220 high a day. This just squeezed 20 pennies in less than 10 minutes, while it took it forever to move along. So I see two bull flags now. One bull flag started out at 935, then consolidated using VWAP as kind of the lower end of the flag component of the bull flag. And we are on bull flag number 2. We're currently building the pole part of the bull flag. I'm talking about this part over here. Up goes it through 195, which was resistance on the day. TNGX, beautiful look. We'll keep an eye out on that. Palo Alto Networks, Pan-Dub.
Good guy.
A very love-hate relationship with this name. It's love right now, though, Joseph. It's love right now.
Taking a page out of your boys' book there. All right.
No. I told you, bro. This is a high beta. They're a high beta group.
Yeah.
The cybersecurity names are just super high beta. I'd love to tell you guys that I added at 135. I didn't.
Ooh.
I'd love to tell you guys I added at 140. But I didn't. But I'm glad to tell you guys that I added at 145, having initially gotten in. As you'll recall, Joseph, I got in close to the top at I got out close to the top at 205. I got back in at 180. I was substantially out of the money on this one when all hell broke loose on Liberation Day, April 7th. But I did add at 145. I'm feeling quite good about this one. We're about to break out into 195. We're not close to all-time highs, Joseph. We got to get into that 210 area, 209, 210 area. But Palo Alto Networks reports, guys, after the bell tomorrow, or is it before the bell? Let's find out.
Let's find out here.
We're going to find out. We're going to do it live. We're going to go. I'll show everybody a little bit of a trick. It's called Earnings Whispers, guys. There it is.
Tomorrow's after close.
After close. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that. So after the close tomorrow, guys, Earnings Whispers is the website. This one does report, so if you're involved in that one, make sure you're repositioning or doing whatever you need to do prior to the earnings report there. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this one does. Now they've been in a bit of let's just say moat change. They've had this new technology, this new type of system that they've been implementing to varying degrees of success. If this one misses, it's going to substantially drop, okay? And the thing is, we have lower highs. So the pattern, yeah, we recovered a little bit. We're above the 200. We're above the 50. Everything's gravy. We're knocking the door at 200. But if this one misses, we could see 150 again, maybe even 145. So I'm going to be wetting the beak on some profits at the end of close today. I'm going to let whoever wants to build a position in it, Joseph, ahead of earnings, build their position, see what kind of market on close orders come in, and I'm going to be doing some selling ahead of tomorrow's earnings report, just to get some profit.
Yeah, just to lock something in, man. That's a fantastic plan. That's exactly what I like seeing. I'm just going over some of my other trades here, guys. I was looking for a specific example where I was talking to you guys that I need to start adding into the breakout here. This isn't the one I was looking for, but it's relatively close. So you guys seen me trade this the other day on Tesla. You can see the similarities within the price action, but essentially what I'm getting at, so this is obviously just my documentation, my notes, very simplistic stuff, but this is how you refine and get better in your trading here, guys. So you can see that I added aggressively into this, but I need to start adding right here as you break through some of these key resistance zones and you see that volume slowly start to stair step. Exactly, yeah, there it is. Whoever hit that one, that was a monster one. We had a lot of fun with this, guys, but what I was just trying to reflect here is that I need to add, and is this today a prime example of it? Not necessarily, but we're getting close. We're adding when we punch through. We're profitable. We're adding into these positions, but there could have been another add right here, and I'm just trying to refine so we can get significantly better here and start sizing up more. For me, in the morning is when I'm most definitely the most confident within the first half hour and have the most conviction because I know exactly what I'm looking for. I've worked on this system for an extremely long period of time now. So again, that's where I really can go back into my playbook and see what's going on with that front end if I have the ability to get aggressive, all right? So here we are. You've seen this morning I start a little bit more than usual size here than my default size. I then double up the whole position in total, and then I also add another 33% right here. I did miss the opportunity to get back in, but I won't complain too much. And you can see that's the strength displayed in the tape here on QBTS right now. But why I traded this, it was just a daily breakout, not getting complicated. I'm not going to tell you any fancy numbers or any thesis. Just look where we opened up from a daily standpoint, and I was looking for the continuation in the strength. We have multiple engulfing candles here as well on the daily. The pullback breath, you see the volume profile on that daily really start to decay there as well. So there we are, sitting on top of the range, looking for the continuation of the trend, and that's that on QBTS. But we're still sitting in this Tesla, and I was just referring to how I'm just looking to add more Shreve, surprisingly not, just how I can add more aggressively and when the right time to add is, because I think that's really important to understand. If you guys are trying to do the same things within your trading, it's trial and error, right? There's no beating around that bush. You're going to have the pains, but eventually you'll catch on and you'll understand your system and your style of trading on when you specifically know when to add into positions. And I hope that's that's been displayed here for you guys relatively well.
Absolutely, Joseph. All right, I'm building a position still in QMCO. Anything below that 20 penny area, that's going to end of the trade. That's a volume-weighted average price. It's been respectful of VWAP essentially all morning. If it loses it here, then why would I be long? So we'll give back a little bit on QMCO if we do get stopped out. Looking for it generally hold, at that volume-weighted average price. All right. Who is this person?
Save Woman Peace. Hood at 48. We've been in Hood, and I know someone just mentioned it's above 63 now today. But yeah, we love Robinhood, Shreve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Robinhood's a fantastic platform, and we'll keep tabs on that. All right, I'm going to throw some profit takers in the low 60s, see if we can extract something here on QMC. Looking for it to hold VWAP. Got a bit of a bid there off that volume-weighted average price level. Let's also keep an eye, guys, on TNGX as it comes back in and tests $2. Currently showing me a double bottom. At the same level, that's at 212, 213 area. Alas, the level that I'm earmarking is $1.95 to $2. Now, it may or may not come back into those levels, right? Sometimes buyers are so exuberant that they prevent it essentially for coming down and testing that breakout level. The actual price breakout level is $1.95, and we can see that because that's as high as we could get before we retrace down and stop me out. But we know that there's going to be buyers or there's psychological support at that $2 level. So if I were looking for a dip trade here, I'm front running $2 by a couple of shekels, but also layering south of 2 in case, it does come back in and actually test the price breakout level, which happens to be 195. So we'll keep eyes on that. And that's all I've really got at the moment. But yeah, the market's now green, guys. All three major averages, the ES, the Dow, and the NQ, all green, with the Dow taking the cake up 1/3%. The Russell, though, remains negatory on the day, down 2/3, but up 1/4% since the bell rung. So looking to recover a little bit, I don't know. Man, these small caps, man, it's just the yields, guys. The yields are really killing the small caps right now. The 10-year, the 2-year, the 30-year, the 20-year, they're all elevated as a result of, the kind of prediction that there could be some economic headwinds coming forward. So, yeah, I think that so long as, that the yields remain higher, these small caps are really going to have a tough time really breaking out here, Joseph.
It's not horrible. I mean, off of those bottom Shreve, you're still up 20%. But again, if
zoom out though, go to the weekly on that. We can't seem to get a trend on this thing.
No, and I think that I think it comes with the
consolidated.
territory, right? You know what I mean? Just a lot of, they got to borrow a lot of money and everything along those lines.
Right?
So
we need that decade of free money again from like the financial crisis to 2020 for these things to go.
Knowing what you obviously know now, it's just like, borrow, almost. I get it.
Dude,
We don't want to be
there was a decade where basically you'd make money, save it, you'd borrow against it, you would never realize capital gains on the money that you made because you were never withdrawing it, you were only borrowing against it, taking that borrowed money, reinvesting it, and you did that for 10 to 12 years. And people caked on that.
That ain't taxable, baby.
Caked on that, exactly. They're talking about trying to close that loophole because people kept exploiting it and nobody was realizing any tax. But now, obviously, the interest rates have kind of taken that away from everybody.
Absolutely. But there it is, guys. I mean, it is still off 20% off those lows. But, I mean, I guess in a rate-sensitive market, they're not necessarily, I don't know how sensitive it may be, but we're still on the fence of like, oh, is it a pause? Is it this? Is it cut? Excuse me, I just don't think that's good for the small caps there.
No, certainly not. As Fedora the Explorer just said, obviously something we've been talking about a long time, higher yield equals higher borrowing costs. Small cap companies have harder times accessing cheap capital equals less investment in business. Well, then why don't the large caps get hurt? Because they don't borrow money. They're sitting on hundreds of billions of dollars of cash. They don't need to go into the debt market to borrow at higher rates and have that eat into their margins. That's the beauty about being Berkshire and Apple and Microsoft and all these guys. They're actually holding onto their own money. And if they don't have their own money, they're able to borrow on very favorable terms given their large size. It's not going to be the same thing for a small cap, I promise you that. When Mark Zuckerberg goes to the bank or wherever the hell he goes to borrow money, if he borrows money, he's getting more favorable terms. Let's just call a spade, right? So that's the situation we find ourselves with small caps, and that's why they've been underperforming essentially since COVID. And I have a very good friend,
Yeah.
and that's all he does. He's a fundamental investor in some of these small caps. Like he looks at basically a value investor. He looks at really sound balance sheets that are underpriced relative to their price to earnings, right? And he tries to go at it that way. And he focuses more on TSX companies than anything else. And it's been tough for him, tough 5 years.
Really?
He got super excited in that, stint in 23 or 24 when small caps were running.
Went on a run.
But that was it. Short-lived a lot, man,
I mean, I talked about it before. I just had to make sure. But now, ending March 29th of 2025, Apple has $98 billion in free cash.
But I remember Apple having like 200
Yeah,
billion.
yeah, they used to have
What's up
100
with that?
million.
Yeah, they used to have more, right? Whatever.
We have to talk to Timmy C about that. We'll see where the cash is going.
Yeah, Timmy C, he's got some questions. Let's talk a little Apple.
Okay,
since we're going to wind down, 4 minutes left on the show. We all know what June means for Apple. It's WWDC, Worldwide Developer Conference. We obviously know what happened at the last WWDC. We got a lot of the AI announcements. Now, having observed Apple for the last year and the fiasco that ensued from their Apple Intelligence release, is it too soon? I'm putting that question to you guys in the chat. Is it too soon to expect Apple to have fixed up their Apple AI woes, Apple Intelligence AI woes, and have something for us at the upcoming WWDC? Is it too soon? We saw heads roll. Say that again, Adara. Who knows, she says. We saw heads roll, and and you never really want to champion people getting fired, but when somebody, has such, like a big-ass campaign like that and then botches it completely, you got to assume someone's going to have to pay the price for that with their job.
Yeah, they did.
So that's what I want to see. Marcus, yes. Eski, no. Day trader cut, no. Oh, we just blow through QMCO. I got stopped out. Dino Abdini just wants to talk about SYTA. So that's the question there that I have for myself as an Apple shareholder. Is it enough time for Apple to kind of get their house in order? And if it is enough time, do they take the opportunity, having, all the eyes and the media and everybody there at WWDC, Worldwide Developer Conference in June, to make that kind of splash? And if they do, I better see an hands-on demonstration. I don't want to see any videos. Because last time we saw videos, we saw what happened. It's a fiasco.
Well,
they weren't actually there.
Seen that one video of Steve Jobs trying to get the camera to get working?
No.
Yeah. So this was I think it was the early
gets a
iPhone.
pass,
Oh
though,
yeah,
he gets a
right.
pass.
So he was trying to get the camera or something to work along those lines, and it wasn't working. And he threw the phone aggressively at the engineer. He's like, I can't get it to work during the conference. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to piss off that guy, eh? He seemed like a bit of
He doesn't play around, man.
Yeah, so seriously though, Sports and Stonks, Siri to take a back seat is the rumor. I really have a hard time believing that Apple will release a new batch of iPhones that don't have AI. I can't get behind that. I think consumers are AI insane right now, and they're going to want to see AI on their phones. So I kind of don't believe the narrative that Apple is kind of just, going to release an iPhone for the sake of releasing an iPhone without anything actually having been done. So we'll have to see if WWDC is the time they do it, but I got my doubts. I cannot confirm or deny, says Moses. Okay, thank you. Vidgamer, Tesla to 400 by end of May. Okay. Tesla is absolutely capable of doing that.
By the end of May?
It can be at 400 by tomorrow, by the end of the week, if there's the right catalyst. Absolutely. Have you not watched Tesla trade before, bro? It's insane.
Brother.
You should be. You'd be like, absolutely.
But I mean,
by get some robotaxi information in there that moves the needle. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But you know what?
Let's look at Rivian. Everybody's talking about Rivian being strong.
I would take a bet on that.
You take a negative bet on that. Yeah, well, I totally could see that.
I'm not saying it wouldn't hit 400, but it's just by the end of May.
But do you see this? We've broken the lower highs on Rivian, guys.
There you go.
Those lower highs have been broken. What I would want to see, though, Joseph, is a close above 17.
Okay.
That takes us into a higher low and a higher high. So if we can move up above that 17 there. What's going on over there, Katina, man? The Katina Man short Tesla still?
Yeah, my
Oh,
God.
baby.
No, but no, let's pull
340.
up my test to see. Katina Man's making money short. I was making money long, and you could just have two totally different trades, still be profitable. So, like
Yes.
that. You like that work there. What's Buddy's name? You like that? Come on, no. What's the quarterback? He's like, you like that. Off of the yeah, you like that Kirk Cousins there. You like that.
Joker. All right, bro. It is 2:01, so we're old a minute. Yeah, we got a minute
Yeah,
in
I'm
the bank.
telling you. Yeah, they owe us a couple
We
minutes.
got a minute in the
They
bank.
owe us a couple minutes.
All right, guys. It's been a great one today, obviously, and it's a day off in Canada. That's why everything's kind of calm around here. We'll see everybody tomorrow, though. Just send them off, Joe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, good trading here, guys. You can see it displayed on the trade. I only took 4 names, and only one of them were red, and that's SQQ. You didn't want to be shorting that market. Threw that thesis out the window really quick, and I think that's a major skill to learn, guys, in trading.
Take care, guys.
I feel like.
I don't know.
Welcome back, everybody.
We're gonna say I think Kirk Cousins has received the most amount of money in NFL history.
I know
for a
he's
quarterback.
way up there, but I find no.